Coming up on today's show, we've got impressions of Deathloop. Is it as good as everyone's saying? And it's Steimer's last show! What's good, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the What's Good Games podcast, your source for video game news, commentary, analysis, and funny stuff every Friday. I think I really want you to do the intro, Steimer.
Oh, shit. You threw me. What do
you
you
think
mean?
you can do it?
What?
Can you do
Wait,
it?
which part?
The whole thing! The whole thing, Steimer! Are you really going to read it from the paper?
Yes, because you just put me on the spot, and I'm very uncomfortable with on the spot things.
Okay. We have
This
to
is-
do, for posterity.
Okay, this is What's Good Games. Welcome. This is your source for video game news, commentary, analysis, and of course, the funny stuff. Brought to you every Friday by us, the people sitting on this video chat call. And if this is your, I love that you put that, you kept this in. This is from me when I wrote my own notes. This is your first episode. Sweet baby child, please leave. But it's probably not.
Don't forget to introduce yourself.
Shit, you're correct. Hi, I'm Kristine Steimer. And these are my lovely co-hosts / the real hosts of this thing. We got a little lovely Andrea Renee over here. Say hello, Andrea.
Howdy doody, everybody.
And then we have my lover from afar, Brittany Brownbacher.
Howdy doody, everybody.
Yes. Yes, this is like the only time I'm ever going to get this. Like in the history of this show.
You could have like really leaned into it, but you gave me an easy one. And for that, I love you. Thank you.
You're welcome. As Steimer mentioned in the show notes, I kept in from the Steimer's soliloquy episode where she said, "Sweet baby child, if this is the first episode of What's Good Games that you are stumbling across, first, welcome. We're glad that you are here. We are normally the place where we talk about video game news and comment on what we've been playing, but this is a special episode, so it's going to be run a little bit differently than we normally do. As we've been letting you guys know, our third amigo, my co-host, Brittany's co-host, one of the co-founders of What's Good Games, one of the most amazing people ever.
Oh, thanks.
Is moving on to an amazing opportunity that is going to bring her to the, what I hear is a beautiful country of Germany. I've actually never been.
You haven't been in Germany at all?
No, and it's surprising because a lot of my family, my ancestors are from Germany.
I would have assumed you'd been to like a Gamescom at some point.
The one video game show, well, not the one, I haven't been to EGX, but one of the one like major video game conference that I've never been to, because every year that I've had the opportunity to go, my role has been cut from the budget, because if y'all don't know, it's expensive to send United States press to Gamescom. Hotels are expensive, flights are expensive, food's expensive, and I've worked with a lot of digital media outlets that had limited budgets. And so they're like, well, we can send you, but we can't pay you. And back in
you were like, well, that doesn't sound like a good deal.
Working Gamescom is not an easy thing. And I would have done it early in my career, just like I went to E3 for free early in my career, just because I was like, I need to go to E3. But, as I, grew in experience and, was working professionionally, it's not, good practice to accept work for free when you should be paid.
You've been studying German. I almost said you've been studying Germany, but that's
I've
not
been
true.
I've been studying Germany, girl. Yeah.
For a while, like before you even got this job. That just kind of worked out perfect.
Yeah. I mean, I've had this in my brain for a while if this is something that I wanted to do. So I was sort of loosely learning German again through at first Duolingo, and now I have Busuu. Because I was trying to, I don't know, I guess like secret it into my life or manifest it into whatever you want to call it, however you want to say it.
You were putting it out into the universe.
Yeah, I was like, this is the thing I really want to do. And then it happened. And now, funnily enough, as I'm ramping up to actually move there, I have completely stopped using this app. But I think that's mainly because I'm incredibly busy trying to fill out paperwork and figure out moving and doing all that other stuff. So I will be picking it back up again when I get there. But yes.
You're going to become bilingual and it's going to be awesome.
I mean, hopefully that'll be good. Like, I mean, I've been, on the path multiple times and just have never seen it through.
Learning a second language at our age is hard. You know, it's obviously every year you get older, it gets a little bit more difficult because, you know, our brains, we just lose brain cells year over year. That's just facts,
We should
everybody.
stop drinking this champagne immediately.
We should never stop drinking this champagne. By the way, cheers to
Cheers.
you. Brittany,
do you have a
Virtual
glass
cheers.
of something?
I already
Oh,
shot it
she-
at the top of the show. Hold on, just give me
Okay, we
like
gotta
8
wait.
seconds.
okay, we'll give you a second. And then what we're also
Okay.
going to do once you're ready. Okay, so let's do our cheers.
Okay. Cheers.
Cheers. Is that we have to show the folks at home, although I should drink because that's bad luck.
Yes.
Britt, this
Oh,
t-shirt.
hi.
Can we talk about this
Oh,
t-shirt
yeah,
for a
yeah,
second?
yeah. Oh. So, one of our Patreon streams, we are playing Jackbox Games TKO, right? I think that's what it's called. And
That sounds
the
correct.
beauty of it is that you can order the t-shirt creations at the end of each round. And so I have a habit of drawing my friends in this game. What happens is you draw an image and then a random slogan gets slapped onto it, and then you get a t-shirt. You vote on the best t-shirt. This one just happens to have my baby girl Steimer on it. I drew the Steimer.
Yes. And then the slogan says, "I can't believe you've done this." And this shirt was made years ago. We don't remember exactly when because it was that
least
long
2 years
ago.
ago.
Yeah.
But quite some time. And I'm like, I cannot believe how perfect this shirt is. Because at the time of its creation, we were just like, oh, haha, what a ridiculous, funny shirt. And now it
Yeah.
kind of works out.
No,
Those
I
are
mean,
your
I
brackets
think
for-
that it's comic genius.
Yeah.
Like that's why she got it printed on a t-shirt.
Yeah,
It's great.
it's really great.
And I really wish
I
that we had that design because we could put it in the store and sell it.
I mean,
That's
I can
great.
recreate this amazing art, Andrea. It'll be a little different because perfect art is hard to recreate, but I can do my very best.
true.
I mean, you are the Microsoft Paint savant, so
I am. Thank you.
I think you
Brittany
should. I think
Ross.
you guys should definitely make that shirt.
yeah,
Okay.
I love it.
Why not?
I love it. I do want to do a little bit more housekeeping before we kind of dive into the mess that is going to be today's show, everybody. Thank you to our Patreon producers, Chewy's Godson, Alex Rigopulos, Faris Attieh, Justin Foshee, Matthew Goderre, Punkdefied, and Trevor Starkey. And welcome to our Patreon community, Paul Scott Kavanaugh, and Angel De Jesus. And Brittany, it looks like we have a couple new podcast reviewers.
Go Soli 16.
Nice.
Sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, brace yourselves. Like Andrea said, it's going to be a shit show today. And also thanks to Jinx77 and Ruiz Manuel, who says hello from Puerto Rico. And hello.
Hola.
Oh.
I on the world's longest zipline in Puerto Rico, ladies. If you
Oh,
would
wow.
believe it.
Oh,
I scared
did not know
ass.
that was a thing.
How long is it?
It is. I actually wrote it down because I thought you might ask that.
How did you know?
Prepared.
7,230 feet long and
Wow.
1,200 feet above the ground.
Wow.
Wow.
1,200 feet?
Oh, yeah.
How
Trust me.
That's terrifying.
do you like remember roughly how long it took you to get across?
I don't remember. No, I don't remember much about that. I think my brain kind of blocked.
You like
it
blacked
All I
out a little bit.
Yeah, all I
The
remember
fear
being
took
down was,
over.
the tops looked like pebbles, and I was like, all right,
It's not if you don't look down, it's fine. You're just like, I'm cruising. Look, the
No,
trees,
but
they're
yeah.
pretty, blah blah blah. And then you look down, and you're like, shit, okay.
Like 1,200
Yeah.
feet, though. That's above the tree line for sure.
Well,
Yes.
that's what I said. Yeah, they looked like pebbles looking down. I was like, oh, great.
Yeah,
okay,
that's
let's
like
just keep going.
yeah, that's like midway to skydiving. You're like not all the way in the sky, but pretty close.
You are above ground. You are levitating.
Well, today I learned Puerto Rico. Thank you to everybody who takes the time to leave us reviews. It really does help us out. And of course, thank you to everybody who is supporting us at patreon.com/whatsgoodgames. You may have seen that Brittany and I put up a post about how Patreon is changing in the wake of the vacuum that is Steimer's absence. And
wow.
of course, listen, I'm just calling it like it is.
It is.
I brought a giant box of tissues to the set today for
they're
a
puffs,
fucking
too.
reason.
These are quality tissues.
There is no generic like facial tissue in this house.
Can
It's
we
all
get-
about the puffs.
Can we get Puffs sponsoring the show?
I would love that. Puffs, if you're out there, what is this? Is this a who makes puffs? Is this like a
That's a great
PG&E?
question. I don't know.
I don't know who
Hold
makes
on.
puffs.
It's just a nose indeed. No, a nose in need deserves
Isn't it
Puffs
Kleenex?
indeed.
no,
No,
Kleenex,
Kleenex is a different brand.
Oh, so Puffs is a whole brand in itself. That's what I have. I have Kleenex. Listen, I'll take Kleenex too.
Kleenex is
Sponsor our
great.
show.
Yeah.
I just like puff
It's like
softness. is
so
just
Kleenex
what I
and Q-tips
crave.
are some of those brands where the name has just become synonymous with the actual item, but
Like
that's not what the
Band-Aids.
item is called.
Yeah.
And Band-Aids, yes.
P&G. Today I learned.
Is it P&G?
P&G.
Oh, there you go.
I don't know why I thought PG&E. That's the gas company.
That is a gas company.
Pacific
You were
Gas
close,
and
baby.
Electric.
Put some gas up your nose. And then wipe it out with Puffs.
That sounds terrible. Okay, continuing on. I was thanking everybody at Patreon. If you are curious about what's happening with Patreon, Britt and I will cover that in next week's show. But please do go to our site and check it out. And if you guys have questions, concerns, anything at all, as Britt mentioned in the post, we are an open book. You can message us. You can email us at contact@whatsgoodgames.com as well. All right. So I do want to let you guys know today's show is brought to you by ExpressVPN, but I'll tell you more about that later. We didn't pull too many news items today because we want to talk about the games that we've been playing. And we also, of course, want to have a show dedicated to our girl, Steimer. So, Brittany, we do want to mention what's going on with this GeForce Now leak. Do you want to kind of give me a heads up on everything that's
give us
happening?
the down low,
the 411, as the kids say.
I don't think
Heads
they
up
say it
and down
anymore.
low and all
They
that
don't.
411. They don't say that anymore. You're right.
No.
Ladies, we're old. Yeah. So, ladies, we potentially have the largest video game leak in all of video game history.
Dun, dun, dun!
For real, yo?
For real, yo. Okay, so this comes from Video Games Chronicle. NVIDIA confirms leaked GeForce Now list is real, but claims games are speculative. So, NVIDIA has played down a recent data mine that appears to reveal a number of unannounced games this week, including a Steam version of God of War and Gear 6. It includes a list of titles compiled by SteamDB founder Pavel DJ DJUNDIK.
Is it like Yundik?
Maybe.
Yundik?
Perhaps.
Yundik?
I don't know.
I'm going to spell it because I know I can't pronounce it correctly. Featuring unannounced games like Final Fantasy IX Remake. What the actual fuck? Are you fucking kidding me? Anyway, moving on. BioShock RTX Remaster, Resident Evil 4 Remake, Halo 5 PC, Grand Theft Auto Trilogy Remasters, Crysis 4, Half-Life 2 Remastered, Injustice 3, and more. NVIDIA has since confirmed that the list is real and claimed that it was used only for internal testing and that the games listed don't necessarily exist. Quote, NVIDIA is aware of unauthorized published game lists with both released and or speculative titles used only for internal tracking and testing. Inclusion on the list is neither confirmation nor an announcement of any game. NVIDIA took immediate action to remove access to the list. No confidential game builds or personal information were exposed. So the games on the GeForce Now database include, and I'm just going to run through a few of these, but there are literally hundreds on there. So you have God of War, Returnal, and Demon's Souls for PC, GTA 3, Vice City, San Andreas remasters, unannounced Xbox projects, Fight for Middle-earth, and Injustice 3, Human Fall Flat 2, Total War 9, Helldivers 2, Halo 5 Guardians for PC, Final Fantasy 7 Remake for PC, Bayonetta 3 for PC, Kingdom Hearts 4, and Crysis 4.
I mean, I guess all it takes is one for this domino to fall down. If one of these things appears true, then you're like, all right, then.
This reminds me a little bit of that like Walmart Canada snafu that happened where a lot of the games on that list were real and some of them were not. But let's be clear, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to think that if you put Gears 6 on a list that you can be like, they're working on Gears 6. Like, yeah, no shit, Sherlock. Gears 6 is going to be a game that actually happens. And so I think that is true for a lot of these. Now, there's some very specific ones, like Human Fall Flat 2, for example. To me, is like one of those games that you wouldn't speculate on coming out. Like, you guys, what's the hot sequel? Like Human Fall Flat 2. I mean, that game was really fun, and I think getting a sequel sounds cool, but it being on this list just feels a little out of place, right? And
that's why
does that make you think it's more real?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. And to clarify, some of the games on here have been confirmed, like the Halo, or not Halo, Jesus. Thank you, Whiskey. The new Fable game, like that was on here too as a coding or whatever. So yeah, that like you were saying earlier, Steimer, there are some games on here that have proven to be
real.
Yes.
They're not made of wood.
No.
Yeah, but I don't know. So the whole point of this is that people are like, all of these titles are real, and NVIDIA's like, oops, they're not. Some of them are speculative. Which I look at this list, and the one to me that stands out as being speculative the most is Kingdom Hearts 4. I'm like,
oh, it's not great.
Yeah, do we need that game?
Well, even if that's a game that is in development and exists, that game's not coming out until like 2027. So like,
oh, we're gonna be in our like.
Well, I'll be dead by then.
we're all like, God, I hope not.
So I was.
It'll be quick. Don't worry.
Thanks, Steimer.
Scrolling through the timeline on my Twitter, and I saw like a quick glance of Zidane Tribal, the main character of Final Fantasy IX, in the timeline, and I just scrolled past it. I'm like, whatever. And then I was like, okay, I got a bite. What did I just see? And I scrolled back up, and then sure as shit, it was like Final Fantasy IX remake rumored, and then I think Final Fantasy Chronicles rumored. I have never been so stunned by a rumor in my life, and I know it's just a rumor, but Final Fantasy IX, ladies, is the series that prompted me to write like a 500-page fanfic. It's the series that prompted me to email Square Enix's PR, or back in the day, Squaresoft's PR, and be like, hey, are you making a sequel to this game? When I was like 13, not knowing any better. Like, if that game comes to fruition, I think that might be bigger than my like Ocarina of Time like want and need of a remake. I can't even imagine. And the thing that also makes me feel like maybe this has some validity to it is that they are making a children's, and I say children's, like an 8 to 13-year-old TV show based off of Final Fantasy IX, an animated
Which one is
series.
9?
It's the one with Zidane Tribal and well, I don't know how to explain it. It's like kind of more like they're more cartoony looking. They have like the big gloves in the hands, and I don't know what you can see. Oh, you can see like, hold on.
Do you have a I see Cloud and Sephiroth. That's
Oh wait, hold
that's
on.
Dragon Ball. What are you talking about?
What? No, that's not.
I know,
That's Zidane Tribal,
But doesn't it look
goddammit.
like it? It looks like Dragon
excuse me,
Ball.
according to my
Where?
naming conventions, that is JT.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Do you guys remember
I do
that
remember
when
that.
I played that game
And
very
you accidentally
briefly?
named
You named
Yeah.
him like, was it Michael? Who
I
was
named
Michael
him
Jackson?
MJ.
No, that's
Yeah,
right.
MJ.
MJ after Michael Jackson, and JT
You
after
just named it
his
after
like,
pop stars.
Yeah, pop stars. Yeah, and then like Klein, is that his name? Kleiner? Who's the Steiner? I was like, who's the guy in the suit?
Is me.
The
Steiner.
night
Yeah,
suit.
yeah.
I named him the Hoff after
That's right.
David Hasselhoff.
Should have named him me.
German pop star David Hasselhoff.
That's true.
So anyway, if this actually is a thing, like, it's the one where it's almost too weird for it to be like randomly put in there. Like that's why I'm like, maybe
That
it's
game remade, like, can you imagine though? That game was like a 3D game in the way that they remade Final Fantasy VII. That game would be wild.
It would be, yeah, because Final Fantasy VII is so realistic compared to Final Fantasy IX, which again, it's kind of like the cartoony characters, like the big feet, the hands, the goofy costumes.
Yeah, and
You
you're
know,
like in the
it's more-
forest, and there's so many weird like creatures and like little
Yeah.
That
monsters
sounds more
and stuff.
fun to me.
Yeah. Oh,
I
that's
like
why
I like
it's
shit
my
to get a little
favorite.
weird.
Yeah.
Oh, anyway, like that was the number one.
I hope this
announcement.
for
I
you,
just love
Brittany.
this.
I hope this
Thank
comes
you.
true.
Thank you. Me too. I will. Like I've said with Ocarina of Time remake, I will shit my pants and cry at the same time. My brains will be like all over the wall behind me. I will lose so many bodily fluids in that very moment.
I hope this happens at a press conference in person, so I can like videotape this
Do you
happening
want?
live.
Are you
Do you
sure
want to be
you
near
want all
those
my
smells?
Yes, it's for history. It's
Andrea,
you know.
thank you. You'll take one for the team. Appreciate you.
I can't explain to people listening and watching the show the pure joy I get from going to press conferences with one Brittany Brombacher. She brings the enthusiasm in a way that sometimes I forget about because it wears you down covering this industry as many years as the three of us have been working in it, you know, and sometimes it's hard to tap into that inner fandom because E3 week in particular is just brutally difficult. And these last couple of years, like not including the pandemic, but pre-pandemic, I've had really busy schedules leading up to press conference day. And so I get there and normally I'm like bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, ready to go, like live tweet everything. But I just have been exhausted. But like going to conferences with you two and sitting there and having those really exciting moments is kind of like reminds you like what E3 is all about. And like, I miss that so much. And like, I'm thinking about it now and I'm getting sad thinking we're not going to have that again with Steimer.
It's okay. E3's over.
Oh.
Steimer, no! I mean, you're probably not wrong, but god damn it.
That was the most direct way. Like I fucking love it.
Brittany, I'm glad that you have a giant thing of salt there. I feel like you need to like shake a little bit out every time she's like, but actually.
This salt though. What am I gonna do? Oh god.
Oh God,
Okay.
that's some coarse
just-
salt.
just eat
That's
it.
Some grainy salt.
Yeah.
No, don't. She's already getting dehydrated from the whiskey.
I know.
true.
I don't need more of this. I'll just casually dump it into the garbage and I'll miss, but that's fine.
Oh, I was gonna say we should collect it in a cup and see how much is in there at the end.
Do you have a cup?
I have an old whiskey glass.
There you go. There you go.
Turns out, perfect.
Perfecto.
And every time she gets salty, just shake a couple shakes in there.
That thing. No, I won't do too much of it when I get DMCA.
No, damn you, content ID. All right, so that was really the big news of the week, and then we have a couple other bullet points that we briefly wanted to go over. Yet again, everybody, Dying Light 2 has announced another delay.
They keep adding dates. They should stop adding dates.
This one feels real, even though we said that last time. December felt real. I think delaying to February 2022 is not a great thing for them, but
I mean,
2022, man. It'd be a busy fucking
it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean December had Halo, so
yeah. No, I'm with you though. This does feel real because we are seeing all of those Dying to Know showcases that they've been showing lately. So like, yeah, we're getting progress. We know the game exists and it's running in some capacity, but if this gets delayed again, like, I wouldn't be surprised. Whatever, it's fine. I got enough going on right now that it's okay.
Yeah,
I'll get to you.
yeah. How are you going to choose though between Dying Light and Horizon?
she'll go Dying Light. I think maybe I don't know.
No, I don't know. Aloy really, really won me over.
More than zombies, your one true love.
Well, so no, this is how I, ladies.
Which one has more trees?
We don't know for sure.
We can't say at this point in time, but I always have one single player game I'm working on and one co-op game I'm working on. So Dying Light 2 can be my co-op game. Horizon can be my single player game. When I want to tell Jason to fuck off, I'll just hop back into Horizon and it'll be fine.
We love you, Jason. If you're listening, even when she tells you to F off.
What are you going to do when Jace becomes old enough that he could be your co-op partner? Are you going to kick Jason away? Are you going to be like, Jason, you're out? Jace, you're in?
Yeah, I think so.
No. Wah, wah, wah.
I know that's God damn you, both of you ask these hard ass questions.
Listen, I asked none of it. This was all Queen Salty over here.
Oh yeah.
I was just thinking about it. I was like, I wonder what's going to happen when Jace gets older. And like he can be, I mean, sometimes he'll just join the crew, right? Because there'll be games where it's 4-player co-op and he can just join.
That's true. For the like initial first few years, I'll just hand him a disconnected controller and be like, "Oh, buddy, you're playing."
Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, this is when he's actually coordinated enough to play and not be a disaster.
Yeah,
to not be a hindrance to your gameplay.
That's a problem for another day.
Exactly.
Yes, true.
Another game that got delayed, Battlefield 2042, but this one's just a tiny delay, just a few weeks, from October 22nd to November 19th. That to me just sounds like some polishing that they probably discovered, some game-breaking bug that they're like, we got to fix this. We need just a couple more weeks. Push it out.
Whoop.
Day one patch that bitch.
Yes.
Because they're definitely like almost ready for cert, if not insert already. They've got to be insert now, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. 6 weeks,
if they want to produce discs, yeah.
I mean, it's Battlefield. It's EA. There's definitely discs.
Oh, I know.
Oh, I know. She knows everybody. And after 4 years, goddamn, Nintendo finally flipped the Switch, this like metaphorical Switch, yes, and enabled Bluetooth audio on the Nintendo Switch. Like, what the heck? Has this been something that's been possible this entire fucking time?
Years.
Literal years.
Wait, but hold on. It says that there are a few catches, which is the case for anything with Nintendo.
Go ahead, Timer.
Oh, okay. Now I have to push the. Okay, come over here. Via Nintendo, up to 2 wireless controllers can connect to a Nintendo Switch system while using Switch Bluetooth audio. You will not be able to pair additional wireless controllers until you disconnect the Bluetooth audio device. Switch Bluetooth audio will be disconnected during local communication, such as when starting a local wireless multiplayer game.
What? Nintendo, come on, get your shit together.
Hilarious. It sort of works.
I don't even... It's wild. You think about this. Imagine if Sony or Microsoft, this had been a thing, right?
Was like, it works, but only sometimes.
And Nintendo, everyone's like, okay, we expect nothing less of you.
They're like, just go make us another Mario game. We'll be happy.
Seriously, people expect nothing of Nintendo. They're like, it's okay, boo. We don't care.
The expectations in the dirt. Like bar real low to clear. You made it. You did the base functionality. Perfect.
Just give me that sweet, sweet Breath of the Wild 2 and all is forgiven.
Yep.
Literally. Yeah, your hardware can be absolute crap, but that's fine. It's cool
Now,
anyway.
I wouldn't go as far as to call it crap, and I know that's not what you're implying, of course, but
Thank
I
you.
think
don't need
it's
perks.
it's this ongoing tug of war with us as lovers of Nintendo, but also wanting the platform to have a little pride in its standards and bring itself up to where its competition is and say, hey, you're asking $300 for this console, which is not an insignificant amount of money, and what you can spend to get an Xbox Series S, and you guys just are not competitive from a technical perspective, and it's always been that way. And I don't think the library of games that you can play on Nintendo Switch is so phenomenal that they can continue to get away with this.
It's me, Nintendo.
They're going to. Spoilers.
They're-
I know. I absolutely
We have the
100%
exclusives the
understand.
people want,
Yeah.
so we do what we want. I don't know.
We
I mean,
have
technically they're a
VPN.
Japanese company, but they're gonna be Italian because of Mario, so that's how it is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry,
Anyway,
sorry everybody.
We're all taking a drink, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
Pour one out for Nintendo. No, actually, mostly
Yeah,
for
they're
their online tech troubles, woes,
It never existed
attempts.
anyway. You can't pour one out. It's fine.
Yeah. They have the money to solve these problems. To
Throw
hire
money at it.
The people to solve the
Makes you
problem.
wonder, what prompted this? Were they all sitting around?
They're like, "You want to enable
A
Bluetooth
conference-
today?"
Yeah, exactly.
We haven't done anything in a while. What can we do?
Why don't we just fucking flip the Bluetooth switch
What about
today?
Bluetooth?
Sure.
Genius.
Good job, Bob.
Good job. You get a raise.
Bob.
That sounds great. Thanks, Bob,
Bob's
for
like, but it
contributing.
it won't work in these two instances. That's fine. No one will notice. We're Nintendo.
Bob pushes up his glasses. Well, guys,
Well, actually,
we can flip the Bluetooth switch, but it's going to come with these very specific exceptions.
they'll be
Ah.
fine. They were fine with all the other shit we did to them.
They'll take this one like a champ.
Take it on the chin.
They'll complain about it on the internet for a couple of days, and then they'll forget.
Isn't
They'll
it
buy all of our
true?
stuff.
That is,
Oh.
yeah.
It's so true. It's so true. Okay, how about now that we're done talking about some news, we talk about some video games. But before we do that, I want to let you know that this episode of What's Good Games is brought to you by ExpressVPN. We all live on the internet these days, but going online without protection is like using your smartphone without a case. Most of the time, you're probably going to be fine, but all it takes is one accident. You're going to drop it on solid concrete to make you wish you had protected yourself. Enter ExpressVPN. Every time that you connect to an unencrypted network, cafes, hotels, airports, your local Starbucks, your online data is not secured. Any hacker on the same network can gain access and steal your personal information, like your passwords, your financial details, those nudes that you took. Let me tell you, it is not as safe as you think it is. And it doesn't take much technical knowledge to hack someone. Just some cheap hardware is needed, and heck, even a smart 12-year-old could do it. And did you know how valuable your data is? Hackers can make up to $1,000 per person selling personal info on the dark web. But ExpressVPN creates a secure, encrypted tunnel between your device and the internet so hackers can't steal your sensitive data. It'd take a hacker with a supercomputer over 1 billion years to get past ExpressVPN's encryption. Just fire up the app, click the one button to get protected, and it works on all your devices, phones, laptops, tablets, and more, so you can stay secure on the go. I like to use ExpressVPN to hide all the weird searches that I do at 3 a.m. while I'm pumping. You guys should see my Amazon search history. It's a tire fire. Secure your online data today by visiting expressvpn.com/whatsgoodgames. That's expressvpn.com/whatsgoodgames, and you can get an extra 3 months for free. That's expressvpn.com/whatsgoodgames. What, did you think I was going to tell you what my search history was? Haha, suckers.
Oh, God.
All right, let's talk about some video games. Brittany, let's start with you.
You want to start with me? I would love that.
Yeah,
So much. Let me
let's
pull up
talk
my
about Lost Judgment.
I love that you took
I
notes.
would. You know what, baby girl, my hair. Oh my God, I'm so drunk.
Wait, are you actually legit drunk? Because this makes me happy.
No. I mean, I'm almost there. I'm definitely like at that middle ground between like I have a good buzz.
You're at the intersection of buzz and drunk.
Listen, us breastfeeding moms don't get drunk very often these days, so this is one for the books. We're gonna be probably pumping and dumping later, everybody, and that is not something to be taken lightly.
Oh, it's gonna happen. Like,
just save it and make it into a necklace.
Yeah. Okay. Let me. I'm gonna have to read from these. Okay. Wait. Make what into a necklace?
The breast milk.
Your breast milk. Well, I'll send you it later. Don't worry about it.
It's a thing you can do. You can like make it into jewelry.
I was like, do you let it sit out and harden and like get crusty?
I don't know the chemistry behind it.
Okay, Lost Judgment. Let's talk about one of like probably my favorite game of this year. Okay, so Lost Judgment, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, thank you Sega for the review code, and I'm gonna apologize in advance.
Sega.
There it is. If I fuck all this up, I'm very tipsy, but you know I love you and I love your games. I am about 30 hours in, which is a miracle considering I have a 4-month-old, and I'm maybe 65% done with the story. I still probably have another 40 hours to go in this game.
Woof.
So, oh yeah, but I love it so much. So I'm just going to throw that out there. I haven't finished it. Okay, so Lost Judgment is the sequel to 2019's Judgment, which is Ryoga Gotoku's like detective spin on the Yakuza series, and it is a direct sequel, so it follows Takayuki Yagami and his detective shenaniganry. And in this particular game, and no spoilers, don't worry, he is investigating a murder, but it appears as if the prime suspect has an alibi. So how could he possibly commit the murder or be in two places at once?
A twin!
Oh, shit. No.
Oh,
Good
damn.
thought.
That's my first thought.
Good thought. So the release date for this is September 24th. And if you get the, I think it's called the Ultimate Edition or the Digital Deluxe Edition, you get it early on September 21st, so you can play it a little before everybody else. And it supports Xbox Smart Delivery, and if you buy it on PlayStation 4, you can get a free upgrade to PlayStation 5. So there's all like the nitty-gritty you need to know. So I played Lost Judgment originally in 2019. It was one of my favorite games of that year, and just in April, May of this year, I replayed it. I replayed Judgment Remastered on PlayStation 5 because I just love that game so much. And this game, like, one of the main questions I've gotten is like, is this game as dark as like the reveal trailer made it out to be? Now, granted, like the reveal trailer also shows Yagami dancing with a whole bunch of schoolgirls, which is the kind of like crazy that you'd expect.
In a creepy way?
No.
Okay. That sentence out of context feels suspect.
Like, as the Yakuza and Judgment series are kind of known for having these really serious, like, main storylines, but the side stuff is just so wacky and weird. And so it's hard because in the trailer, the reveal trailer for this, you see a whole bunch of, like, serious shit going down, but then it shows Yagami, like, being an advisor to a dancing crew in a high school. So it does a whole bunch of, like, off-the-rails things.
He's
like
a dance mom?
He's a dance mom. He's a whole sort. He wears a lot of hats, Steimer, is what I'm trying to say here.
A man of many trades.
A man of many, many, many traits. So the game, what I'll say is like, yes, like this game has a lot of mature themes in it, and in a way that I think will probably make people feel uncomfortable. You should be aware of that. There is a lot of bullying, some sexual harassment, a lot of like dark. There's nothing in that you can like spin to make light of it, is what I'm trying to say here.
Sure,
so
yeah, I feel like Yakuza, I forget which one was the one I played, like the subtitle of it. But there are a lot of mature themes, it feels like, in the game. The one I played felt like it was all handled very respectfully. Do you feel the same way here?
Yes, I do. I think there's a few, and this could be because, like, you know, I'm a mom now, and I'm a little bit more sensitive to these sorts of things, but there's some bullying in this game, and when I'm watching it, I'm like, God, like, this makes me feel something, but it's supposed to, right? And it's not done for the shock value. It's done to progress the narrative along, so they handle it very well. And for that reason, like, yeah, I think they did great with it. So, yeah, like, and what's so great about it is that they really set themselves aside from, because the first Judgment felt like a Yakuza game with some like detective spins on it, but this one definitely feels much more different from a typical Yakuza game because you have all these different gadgets that Yagami can do his detective work with. You have a sound amplifier, you have a signal director, you have a dog.
What kind of doggy? Can you pet him? Is he cute?
There's a dog.
What's his name?
His name, Oh god, he has the game, and I only heard his name once. They only said his name once. The other night, he just hangs out in your office, and you can take him for walks, and he helps you with investigations sometimes.
Does he sniff snorf? Does he sniff snorf to find the clues?
He does, and he picks up items for you. He's used for his.
Is he more helpful than Reb?
Yeah. I love him. Reb is a good boy.
That's not a high bar to clear, though, right?
That's true. It's true. It's true.
Reb gives you so much emotional love and support, but like he doesn't, like solve mysteries. So I mean,
maybe he could. You just don't know. He hasn't been asked that yet.
Yeah.
If no one asks anything of you,
that's true.
You can't rise to the occasion.
You gave my dog a good out there. I appreciate it. So anyway, like I was saying, yeah. So this game is much darker and it feels so much more different from the Last Judgment to now. Like in the sense that like it doesn't feel like a Yakuza game with detective spin-offs. It feels like its own true like footing, and I can tell that RGG was like, we want to do something a little different this. We really want to lean into the detective side of it, which is I think a great thing because I think the last game they didn't do a lot of things very well in terms of like the detective work. So there's a mechanically it's called like trailing, where you have to follow someone as they like weave in and out of the streets of Kamurocho, and it's a very like jumbled mini game. It's not fun, and it's a lot of like running and hiding so this person doesn't see you. I've only done like 4 trailing missions in this game, and that is like a huge improvement. So thank you very, very much, RGG. You nailed it.
What about it is improved specifically? Like, do you just feel like it's less?
It's less annoying.
Yeah.
It's less annoying. Like, because before it'd be like, okay, I'm going to trail this person for like 5-7 minutes, and it's just literally walking and hiding behind something. And
so they just felt too long and too clunky, maybe?
Yeah, it was overused. There weren't enough detective mechanics in the first Judgment to really like space them out. So what they had to do is they had to use a lot of the same, and that was the problem.
Got it.
So they had to keep like using the trailing. Anyway.
They're like, I know, we can trail another person.
Exactly.
What could we do here? I have an idea.
I love you. I'm going to miss you so much. The other thing I want to talk about is just the amount of sheer content in this game. There's just so much, and that's why I know I have at least another 30 to 40 hours, and I'm going to savor every minute of it. So you have like your main narrative. You have your side quests. Like that hasn't changed. But then you have this whole high school like ecosystem where you have these, I think it's 10 school clubs that Yagami kind of has to infiltrate in order to solve the mysteries within each club. So you have a boxing club, you have a robotics club, you have a skateboarding club, you have like all of these different little mini games that are built into these clubs, and each mini game is so well done that each has its own progression system, its own upgrade system, like its own narrative. And that's what I've been spending the past 3 days doing. It's just like diving into these school mini games, and it's just incredible the amount of content this game has, and it's all good. Like it doesn't feel like filler, it doesn't feel like fluff. You don't have to do it if you don't want to, but they're just so well done. And it's been a long time since I played a game, and I'm like, I want to do every mini game. I want to like dive in, screw like the main narrative, even though the main narrative is very, very good. I'm finding myself prioritizing doing the mini games because they're just like that well executed.
So please explain to me, because maybe I'm just misunderstanding.
No, I'm probably
this
not
narrative.
Keep going.
This is a grown man who's infiltrating school clubs, or is he supposed to be like? Because sometimes the Japanese video games can have the like kid detective trope. So like that's a thing we saw in Persona. Like, so I'm just, like, how old is he supposed to be?
No, he's in like his late 30s, maybe 40s, but he's not creepy in any way, shape, or form. He's
just gotta go to robotics class real quick. Don't worry about me.
Sure.
He's infiltrated the school because of a narrative thing. There's a narrative reason for it, and it makes sense. And it does. He never feels like. Trust me, like it's not creepy.
Is this like Drew Barrymore and Never Been Kissed, where she like goes back to high school?
Josie, right?
Josie Grossi. I'm not Josie Grossi anymore.
That's a movie I actually watched, ladies, and I watched it a lot.
It's a really good movie.
She did a TikTok with that character recently.
I saw that for Entertainment Weekly.
Yeah, she brought that character back.
So funny.
For TikTok.
I have one other question for you, Brittany.
Yeah.
So obviously, you and I have played Yakuza. You played a lot more than me, but and I'm sure that you may have covered this. If you have played a past Judgment game before, maybe you'll be fine. But am I expecting to walk into this and hit some people with baseball bats, or is it all just puzzle solving? Like, how does the game structure that?
I'm so happy you're here. Yeah, so the game itself, So you have Yakuza going forward with Like a Dragon. Those are all going to be like turn-based RPGs. Like we know that for sure. So Judgment is going to be the brawler series, which means that the combat is going to be like Yakuza 0 through 6.
Okay,
in
cool.
the sense that you have like the punching, the kicking, the combos, you have the bats, you have the signs, you have the weapons, the real-time shit. The interesting thing about the combat is they've introduced a new style of fighting. So you have Tiger, which is like your one-on-one, like beefy melee combat. You have Crane, which is the style you want to use when you're fighting multiple enemies. And now they have what's called the snake form. And that is used when you want to use like your enemies, the way they describe it, you want to use your enemies' momentum against them. And you want to mainly focus on counterattacks. And so that's a new strategy to use. I usually just use Tiger because I want to be like the big beefy tank, and it's just more fun to do it that way.
Yeah.
And there are so many skills you can upgrade, and just so much to this game, and it is just so well done, so well polished. I'm playing in Japanese, but most of the English voice actors that were in Judgment have returned for their role, starring Greg Chun as Yagami, and he's brilliant. So, if you want to play like in Japanese or English, either way you can't lose. And I am just loving every minute of this. I'm taking my sweet time with it. I'm not trying to rush it for a review's sake. I think this is going to be much better than Judgment. What's cool about it too is that there's a lot of nods to the last Judgment game. You don't have to play the first one, but you will get a lot of fun Easter eggs, and it takes place in Kamurocho and Ijincho. They're studying for Yakuza.
So is the map then fairly similar to past Yakuzas if it's the same kind of areas?
It's bigger because you have the high school now. So Kamurocho is much smaller, and then Ijincho is it's about the same size, but it's a little bigger because they have the new high school, and they have a new little some new areas that are off the map. So anyway, I love it so much. I know I'm not probably making a lot of coherent sense, but I want you to know in my druzz. Oh my God, my drunken super. I love it so much.
Yes, give me drunk Britt.
It's been a while.
Let's go.
Yeah,
Let's go.
I was like, you know what? Tonight is a special episode.
Just
Let's
roll
do
with
it.
it.
Yeah, I'm like that girl in the bathroom. I'm like, oh my God, I love you so much. It's
Dude, I miss drunk girls in bathrooms.
Yes, oh my God, so do I.
They're so uplifting.
I have so many best friends that I forgot about that I met in a bathroom.
Legit. Yeah, you walk in, you're feeling shit about yourself, and you just get talked up, and you're like, these are total strangers. I love them so much.
Do you remember at PAX East 2020, the last thing that we all did together in public? The last time that we saw you IRL, Brittany.
Oh my God.
And just that moment we had at the piano bar.
The piano bar
Oh
was
my
very
God.
fun.
Where we all were just so drunk and exhausted from the shenanigans that happened at the previous venue. And thank you to everybody who showed up in Boston to support us that night, and your patience with the terrible management of the venue where we originally did the meetup and we transitioned to the piano bar, and it was great. But we were drinking and we were getting people. You guys were so kind to buy us shots, but it really helped us get very drunk.
We were on the stage,
and we
singing
had that
Backstreet Boys.
oh my gosh, we had that moment where I was like, oh my God, I love you guys so much.
No, I love you so much. Yeah,
And we were having that moment with our community too, because there were so many people that showed up to support our show, and you guys just came with so many stories for the three of us about What's Good has done for your lives and how the three of us have impacted you, and it was just one of those drunk uplifting moments.
yeah, you gotta have a little bit of that in your life.
They're good. Yeah. Someday drunk girls in a bathroom will return.
Yes.
It makes me want to start up that series that we talked about a long time ago, Drunk Reviews.
We still can do it.
You definitely should. It's so difficult though to make a coherent sentence.
It's so hard. You don't even try. Don't even try.
I'm not worried about making a coherent sentence.
Yeah, because
I'm
you're
worried
Andrea Renee, fucking powerhouse bitch over there. She's like, I can talk through the drunk. I do this for a living.
I can. I'm more concerned about my ability to get drunk because I've been off my game for so long.
I feel like that would make it easier.
But true. But I think the back of my mind, the countdown clock is on of like when I stop drinking, exactly like when I have to like turn like mom, Andrea, Renee like back
So when you
on.
turn into a pumpkin, you got your Cinderella clock going.
That's why I drink so fast these days. I tell whenever anybody,
You're like, I got to do shots. We're doing shots only.
I'm like just like guzzling wine. I'm like, I have to drink it fast because like I have a certain amount of hours I have to wait after I'm done drinking. So I can't just like luxuriously like drink for like 2 or 3 hours at a time. It's like get drunk in 45 minutes and then be done drinking.
Gotta go fast. Gotta go fast. It's your Sonic level drinking.
Exactly. My poor liver's like, why are we doing this?
Help.
No, liver, you had a nice long fucking break, okay?
Did it though?
Yes. Yes, it did.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like none of your body had a break. Your body was like, what's happening?
Okay, you know what? In fairness, you were not wrong. The rest of my body didn't have a break. My liver, on the other hand, didn't have to work nearly as hard because I wasn't putting like toxins in
you
my
weren't
body.
eating or drinking. So
No.
didn't really have to break anything down.
And I wasn't doing anything particularly dangerous for my liver. Everything else in my body on high alert.
It's just like that's
my
alarm
liver's
sound.
like, it's my time to kick back and put my feet up.
Got a little
Like,
pina
that's what you
colada.
do, bitch.
A virgin pina
Not
colada.
anymore.
Virgin pina colada, yes, indeed.
Oh, that was fun.
Well, I'm glad that you're enjoying your time, and hopefully people out there are intrigued by your thoughts. Steimer,
Yeah.
you have been playing the game that everybody is talking about this week. It's Deathloop from Arcane and
Yeah.
Bethesda.
It is. It is that. So here's the
10 out of
interesting.
10.
Yeah, no, everybody obviously like looking at Twitter and seeing all the reviews of everybody raving about this game. I was like, oh, okay. Not that I disagree with it by any means. I haven't played enough of it, I'll say, to get to that point. So I got a code from Andrea over the weekend, which was obviously a code from Bethesda. So thank you for supplying
Thank you,
that.
Bethesda. Yes.
This was a game that I honestly was going to pass on just because I felt like they kept showing trailers of it and I wasn't quite, I don't know, I was like a little apprehensive. I definitely was apprehensive of the feature where people can come into your game. Don't like that one bit.
Can you turn that off?
You can. Yes, exactly. But yeah, no, like these are the things that were mental blocks for me. The idea of me not really being sure how much this really was trying to be based in multiplayer and how much of it was a more interesting single player campaign. Maybe just not really sure. And obviously at this moment in my life, I have a lot of things going on. So I was like, well, whatever.
You don't say.
But when Andrew's like, I have a code for you, I was like, okay, I have a few hours this weekend. Let me play through this and see how far I can get before I have to start focusing on moving, really. And I didn't get terribly far, but I did get several hours in. And I really am liking the way it's setting things up. And the one benefit that I'll say that I actually texted to Andrea, I was like, the way that they break up missions is actually very conducive for you to have a life, which is very nice. So the missions are actually fairly short, at least towards the beginning. They could perhaps get longer as you have to take people out. But as it's trying to basically teach you the game, very, very short missions. You don't feel as... I definitely thought I would feel a lot more stressed than I technically have to during this game because of the gameplay mechanic where if you die, you go back to the beginning. But with none of your shit. So like...
So it's roguelike in that sense.
Sort of. So this game twists it. So like the first few times you do it, that's what happens. But then as you... again, like this game is very story based. It's very much teaching you how to improve and get better each time you go. Obviously, the only way you can improve and get better each time you go is if you can keep your shit. So it does introduce a mechanic where you can keep things from cycle to cycle so that you can upgrade guns, you can upgrade powers, you can become this like kind of very powerful being, which is something that, you know, roguelikes usually don't do. Like you're starting over, you're starting fresh at the beginning every time, and that's not the case here. Eventually, the first couple times you do the cycle, you'll lose your stuff. It'll be annoying, but then it'll be fine. But I think the thing that has sold the game for me is actually not even necessarily the gameplay, which is very good. It's the acting. So the people who play Colt and Juliana are phenomenal. They deliver their lines perfectly. Like it's hard to explain until you really get into it, and just hearing them banter is such a joy. They are so good at this, and I cannot wait to like unravel more behind their relationship, because based on the way they're talking to each other that there's more there, but you don't know what it is yet. So I think that is what's really interesting to me about the whole thing. And I think in general, the way that the narrative is structured is pretty interesting, and it is going to unravel. Based on all the reviews I've seen, it will unravel well, because everybody seems to fucking love this game. So
yeah, I've heard and read nothing but great things. And so Steimer and I both got codes for the game because we were intending to try the multiplayer component, which you guys may have seen online. But because, baby. I've only been playing one game at a time, which I'm going to talk about in just a few minutes. But I'm definitely intrigued by this game. I've really enjoyed my time with previous Arcane games, including Prey, including Dishonored, Dishonored 2. And I think that, the concept of this game was really cool when I saw it in that Behind Closed Doors event that I did a couple months back. So seeing all the positivity around it is great, but I am also, a little wary of the puzzle element, and if I'm going to have the mental bandwidth to
at least towards the beginning, it's going to hold your hand for a little bit, and it'll tell you, give you fairly strong clues of where you need to be going, what you need to be doing. It's not just going to be here's the city, fucking figure it out, which is good, because I think you would definitely nope out of that game if you did. And to Brittany's point where you're can't you turn that off? Yes, you can remain fully single player in this, and that means when Juliana does come in and invade, it's just AI. So I've had that happen to me a couple of times, and I just keep it as AI because I don't need that stress in my life. I don't need somebody who's much better at first-person shooters than me.
But you don't want me to come into your game?
No, I do not. I was very apprehensive about her. I was fine, we can do this. I'm at the point.
Come on,
so it does not unlock initially. You have to play enough of Deathloop in order to even unlock the ability to become Juliana in somebody else's game. So you can't just buy Deathloop, become Juliana, and troll people. That's not a thing you can do. You have to invest at least a few hours into the regular single player game in order to do that. Yes.
I'm at a point in my life, Kristine Steimer, where I don't want to have to think too hard, and I don't want any stress, and I don't want to get frustrated. How would you?
Is there baby mode?
I don't think so. That's the one. I do wish that there was a little bit more of crank it to easy. So you start the game with a I believe they're called slabs. My brain is a little foggy at the moment, but it gives you 2 extra chances. So if you die, it's not insta death. You go back ever. Pretty much from the beginning of the game, it will tell you get a few extra tries. So you die twice. The third death is actual KO, and you have to start a cycle over again. I have been handling myself very stealthily because I'm not super confident and running and gunning. And I've often, if I find myself in a firefight, I run. I just fucking book it out of there. Because I have no interest in dying. I have no interest in getting rebooted to the beginning. So I try to hold my own as best I can by just being a little mouse and running away. But it's been really interesting getting to slowly become braver and explore different parts of the map. So when you first get to one of the maps, I was very much find the safest way and find the way with the least amount of people, and so I can just stab them in the back and go on with my life. And now I'm okay, well, actually, what's over here? Maybe I'll venture out a little bit more as I'm becoming a little braver, becoming a little bit more familiar with the mechanics and what I can and cannot do with Colt. Or, oh my God, one time I accidentally shot a camera with the noise. So there's a silent gun it gives you fairly early on that's just nails. And so you can shoot that. It's a stealth gun.
It's just a nail gun.
It's just a nail gun. It's quote unquote stealth. No one hears it. So I thought I had that gun equipped, and I shot a camera. It was not the stealth gun. It was the loud gun.
Whoopsies.
And I was fuck! I just turned and ran the other direction away. And I was God damn it. And so then I had to figure out another way to get through it. So it took me a little longer than maybe it would have originally, but
That's like me playing Hitman. Like, I try to do it the way that's, like, sneaky and stealthy, and then I inevitably fuck it up, and then everybody's on to me, and...
My favorite way to take people out in this, so sometimes there will be turrets that you can hack. Because that's the other thing. So it gives you don't just have guns. You do have, again, as I mentioned... people are going to yell at me if I get the name wrong, but I do believe they're slabs. And those, let's like the powers, right? And you get powerful ones from that by killing visionaries. The visionaries are people, honestly, like Juliana, who are sort of main character-esque people of the game. These are the people you're hunting. Slabs. Got the name right. And those are like the really cool powers. There's one that's basically a blink, like a teleport. There's some other ones too that I haven't gotten to yet. I've really only used teleport. And you can upgrade them again as you go moving forward. I've already lost my train of thought. I can't back up. I don't know where the fuck I was going with that.
I don't remember either. I would help
You were talking about slabs.
I mean, slabs are just powers. They're great. Thing that I really like to do, I really like turrets. So you can hack also with your turrets. Or there's a little hack. I think it's called like a hack-a-majig, literally.
Love it.
And you can hack cameras. You can hack doors to open them. And then there are sometimes just briefcase-looking things around, and they are portable turrets. So you can deploy the turret with your little hack-a-majig. You can also turn things on to make them like distractions for your enemies. So you can go around, stab on the back. It's lovely. But I just love if I find a briefcase turret somewhere in the world, that bitch is coming with me everywhere. It is my new best friend, and it is just stuck to my hip. And you can just kind of throw it, and you can turn it on from afar, and then the turret will just take people out. It's fantastic.
Love it.
That's what I like to do.
Wow.
Okay.
It sounds cool.
I'm sure I'll get braver as I go, but this is how I'm playing it for now. Throw a turret, throw a briefcase, turn the turret on. Let it spray and pray.
Yeah, I don't know at what point I'm going to be confident letting other people in my game. I don't
think I ever will unless it's friend. So there are multiple stages. You can have friend only. You can have it open to anybody. So there's different stages of multiplayer for you. If you're like, I don't want to let like literally anyone in here. Yeah. You can just set it to friends only so that you at least know the people who are coming to ruin your day. Or you could kill them too. So
yeah, no, I saw the exchange between Blessing from Kinda Funny and Mike Minotti from GamesBeat. It was just like, it was basically
somebody killed someone.
Yeah, Mike killed Blessing real quick.
Oop.
Blessing tried to invade Mike's game, and Mike was like, "Nope."
Nope.
So it was, and Blessing was on stream, so it was a funny little gameplay clip. But yeah, I think it's so tough thinking about multiplayer in a situation where you have to be able to have a pause with such a young child. And I know everybody out there who is a parent who has kids is like, I feel you. And there'll come an age when our babies are old enough where we can go back to playing multiplayer comfortably, but I don't know.
Today's not that day.
Yeah, today's
like
not
7.
that day.
But again, you can just play with AI for now. I killed her. She did not take me down. I was like, haha! Shotgun to the face.
So what you've seen so far, do you think it's one of the most stylish shooters that you've ever seen?
Are you basing that off this quote on this banner ad?
Banner ad on Metacritic.com? Yes, I am.
It is very stylish. It's very stylized. It has a very specific, not only art style, but world style. And when you do get into a firefight, like the music kicks up, it's starting to like make you feel, the music kicks up in a way that makes you feel a little bit more empowered. Although obviously as you see your health bar decline, you're like, fuck. But yeah, a little bit. Yeah. You kind of like go into it. You're like, oh, okay. Yeah. Start taking people out. And that's also how you know whether or not you're in an active firefight. So again, when my little scared ass runs away, I wait for the music to die down. And then I'm like, okay, I'm fine. The cool music has gone away. It is now soothing music again. We are fine. We are back in stealth mode. But yes, it is a very stylish shooter. I would say that's accurate.
Yeah, from what I saw of the game, it also looked super stylish, and I'm intrigued to see how the mechanics are going to play out. So, because everyone's like throwing around Game of the Year talk. So,
I'll be curious to see, because at this point, I don't think I'm far enough yet to ever make that kind of a call. Given what I've read, I read GameSpot's review, and I was like, okay, I could see this happening. I just haven't experienced it yet. I feel like what I have played so far is very much along those lines of, yes, this game is clearly teaching you and setting you up how to play in a very clever way, and it's also giving you a lot of freedom to explore. Like, if I wanted to, I could run around and explore and find a lot of other things within these maps every time that the game lets me into them. I'm just too weak and scared to do that at this moment. I'm waiting to feel a little bit beefier. I'm waiting to have the cooler guns. I'm waiting to upgrade them a little bit. I'm waiting to have more slab powers so that I can feel... I really liked the blink. It took it away. I need the blink again. That was when I was sort of annoyed. That was the first time it took things away, but it's not going to do that moving forward. Like, I've gotten the thing where now it's like, you'll be fine. You're moving forward.
I'm happy you talked about that, because that's one reason where I'm like, man, I'm really interested, because like y'all have been saying on Twitter, it's the only thing people are talking about. And Twitter, of course, is just like a pipeline into our industry.
I know, right?
But yeah, like it's just the shooter and roguelite and losing things. I'm just like, I don't know if I had the puzzles. I don't know, but it sounds like it's not too bad.
Yeah, I just really am running around, and if there's a building space nearby, I'll go in. I'll see if I can find any papers or anything that looks interesting for me to explore, hack into. Ooh, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I should go into this room at a different time of day. So each of the different maps have...
The light bulb just happened on...
I'm like, wait a minute, there might be some
everybody.
other sort of clue there. And I ran into this weird room where like I need to find 3 codes to open a mystery door. I don't know what it does. So like there's stuff like that hidden throughout the game that's really unrelated to the main story that you're trying to do, but it's fun. Not only world building, but it's just fun random puzzle solving for you as the player. But each of the different maps, each of the different sections of this world are different depending on the time of day. So if you go to Updam in the day, it is much different than Updam at night. And that means like there might be more enemies, it's a little more dangerous, or it might mean there's less people out and like it's a little more chill and you can kind of walk around a little bit easier without having as much resistance. So as you start to play, and as you eventually, because everybody knows the whole point of Deathloop is you have to kill like 8 people in a row on the same day. Eventually what you will do as the player is like try and figure out the optimal way of taking folks out. And like, okay, you're really just data gathering for quite a few cycles to figure out how you should be trying to attempt this major feat.
Are you timed at all?
Sorry?
Are you timed at all? When you
No.
take them out in a day? It's like, okay.
No,
the
so
day
like
is
the time is basically, if you enter a map, it's considered morning or whatever. Then you can enter another map and it's noon, and then you can enter it and it's afternoon, and then it's evening. So you have these different types of cycles of day, and then it's the day's over. It's 24 hours, and the cycle starts anew. But that's how it works. It's just
Okay.
like generic times. There's not an actual clock or anything. So when I was mentioning before about each of these missions being fairly broken up, a lot of times it will send you on some sort of a go get X. Hey, there's a thing over here we think might be perfect for this mission, or like will help you learn whatever. You go get that thing, and then technically, quote unquote, mission's done, and you can go back to the exit, and that closes out that mission. But if you want, you can stay, and again, you can explore and wander around and look for things. But towards the beginning of the game, I'm personally not super into that because I know how weak I am. I have like a fucking pistol, the stupid gun with nails in it. Like I need more firepower if I'm going to be wandering around these places with all these enemies in masks. It's very BioShock-esque. They all wear masks. They're creepy as fuck.
Splicer masks.
They're not quite splicer masks. They're full-on masks, but yeah. And then when you stab them, they just disappear into the sky.
It's weird.
It makes sense because when you die, you don't really die in this time loop. You just evaporate
Like
basically
particles.
to the beginning again. You just wait for the 24-hour cycle to start anew.
Like live,
And
die,
everybody,
repeat.
basically you're in a time bubble, right? Everybody in this thing is in a time bubble. So when you kill someone in it, you can't actually kill them. They just like evaporate back, and then the next day starts and they're alive again, and they're literally back in the same spot. They're like, hey, what's going on, Joe? I don't know. Someone stabbed me yesterday. That was fucking weird. But none of them,
That was fucking weird.
none of them remember.
Yeah.
You remember as you start to go along this journey as Colt. So you have that
Interesting.
advantage, if you will.
No, I'm keen. I'm keen to play. I just got to put the time in. But I've been foregoing the hectic, frenetic, shoot people in the face action.
I just stab a lot of people.
Or that.
I actually don't. I mean, I shoot them.
But there's
with the nail
murder.
gun.
There's a lot of murder.
There's a lot of murder.
You know where there's not a lot of murder?
True colors.
A lot of angst,
That's
I'm
why
sure.
I love you.
Aw.
Life is strange.
Ooh.
Yes. So I have been playing a game opposite of what Brittany and Steimer have been playing called Life is Strange True Colors. So if you guys have been following What's Good Games for a couple of years, you know that we love the Life is Strange franchise. We've done many partnerships with Square Enix and both Don't Nod and Deck 9 about the franchise. We've thrown multiple events at PAX West with them, and all around just love this franchise and love the stories that they tell. And I was really intrigued when they announced that Deck 9 was making another Life is Strange game. And I admittedly went into this Life is Strange with zero expectations and really very little knowledge outside of watching a couple trailers about what this game was going to be. Now, I'm not going to dive in. This is not the Life is Strange spoiler cast. Maybe, we can do that at a future time. But all I want to say, and I'm going to keep this brief, is that this has been such an enjoyable gaming experience for me as somebody who has been avoiding games, not because of any like nefarious reason or anything, but just because like when you have an infant, it's really tough to sit down and dedicate time to a video game. And I just got stressed out by the idea that the games that I love to play, as you guys know, are online action shooters. Like that's my thing.
Yeah.
Destiny, Rainbow Six, Call of Duty, like those are the games that I've been really having a lot of fun with over these last couple of years. And that's not a game I can play right now. None of those games are. And so I was looking for something that I could play, and I was really excited about Life is Strange. And wow, this game is just beautiful on PlayStation 5. So Square Enix provided me with a code, and so I've been playing on PS5, and it's a PS4 game technically, but it looks gorgeous, and the animation is wonderful, and the writing is great, the voice acting is phenomenal, and it comes with everything that you know from the Life is Strange franchise. Like there's these characters you form attachments with, and they have relationships with each other, and there's some underlying mystery at play, and you're trying to figure out what's going on, and then of course they come with the emotional gut punches. And your character that you play is a young girl named Alex, and she grew up in the foster system. She's recently reunited with her brother, and then you kind of learn about like what happens next. And I'm only on the second chapter, so I still have a ways to go to finish the game. So unlike previous Life is Strange games, they're not releasing these episodes at a time. Instead, they're releasing it all in one go, and then they're dividing the game into chapters, which I actually think is a much better way to go about it.
It's easier to make sure.
Yeah, so that way you're not waiting months between episode releases
And you've
to figure out
forgotten what's
going
happened.
on. Yes.
Yeah.
But they still have all the things you guys know about Life is Strange, the choices and the exploration. Soundtrack is clutch. It's great.
That was always one of my favorite aspects of Life is Strange.
Yeah, the music's wonderful.
Andrea.
Yes.
So I've also been avoiding this game because I don't need the angst right now. I don't need like the gut punches. How bad are they?
So the first chapter didn't happen until the very end. And it was more intense than I wanted, but I got over it quicker than I thought I was going to when in the second chapter.
Is it because they're like back? Like So before, when they released episodically, it would usually leave you with some sort of a gut punch, and then you were just left with it.
Yes.
Right? Like, you couldn't immediately move on to something
That's
else.
the beauty of the way that they've changed it, is that you can immediately go to the next chapter and find out what happens next. Now, I'm still a little gun shy from the original Life is Strange, because you think things are one way, and then, episode 4 comes along, and then episode 5 comes along. You're like, what the heck has been going on this whole time? And I don't know what's going to happen at the end, but what I've read from people who have finished all of the chapters is that it's their favorite Life is Strange of all of the games in the franchise.
Ooh.
So that to me
Life is strangest.
Yes, exactly.
Oh.
So that to me is really encouraging that it's going to end up in a great place, but I really like the characters that they've introduced, and the setting is just beautiful. This town of Haven in Colorado, and I mentioned on my Twitter feed, if you guys saw my post, that I love the flower arrangements that are all over the environment. There's a florist and a floral shop in town, but all over like the town square and in certain businesses, there's just these beautiful flower arrangements everywhere. And I just love it. It's wonderful.
Nice.
So far so good. But I mean, I know that there's something more sinister coming.
Something wicked this way comes.
Exactly. It's Life is Strange. There's got to be a twist.
Always is a twist.
Always.
But so far I like it. So far it's great. I'm interested to see like more about who Alex is and what her past is and who these people are that she's meeting and what relationship she forms with them. And they've already set up who like the big bad is supposed to be. But again, like I said, from like the very first Life is Strange, like I don't trust anything.
The reveal of that big bad was I was like, what the fuck?
Oh,
I don't want to use the phrase "jump the shark" because it doesn't quite fit here. But like, you never saw that coming, you know?
No.
Like when you play the original game, you're like, wait,
you were like,
what?
wait, I'm sorry, hold the phone.
What a twist! Yeah. What a fucking dark ass twist. And I don't know what's in store for me with this, but hopefully we can do a spoiler cast at some point. But so far the game has been great, and it's been exactly what I needed because I can sit down and play and explore at my leisure and press pause whenever I want. And God bless the people at Deck 9. Deck 9 made this game, not Don't Nod. With the accessibility options that they put into this game, they added the ability to lengthen the time with which you have to respond to decisions.
Oh, that's nice.
And I said, thank you. Because if I have to get up and walk away from the game in the middle of the game, or if like I'm distracted by something, aka the baby, and I missed conversation, I have time to think about my choice. They also added a feature in their accessibility settings for when scenes have loud audio changes, where they prompt you to say, the following scene has increased audio. Would you like to adjust your volume settings? You can turn that prompt on and off. And so I turned that prompt on. So if the baby is ever with me on the couch or whatever, so I know.
You're not scaring the shit out of your poor
because
baby.
I mentioned that with Ghost of Tsushima, was that like the vibration, I had to turn all of that stuff and the controller volume off because I kept waking the baby up.
It was like,
hello.
hello.
My dog had that accessibility option. My dog today decided to bark right when my kid went to sleep.
No.
I'm helping. My name's Reb. I'm helping.
It was literally a leaf blowing outside.
That sounds like Reb. He's such a little dummy.
And he did like the tomato cry where his face was all contorted, but nothing was coming out because he was scared shitless. And I was
wait, the tomato cry?
Ignore their face.
Not the dog,
I've
the baby.
never heard of this term. What's the tomato cry?
Or they just turn red.
Yeah, but they just turn red and nothing comes out, and their little round faces look just like a red beet tomato.
You talking about the baby or
the
your
baby?
dog?
The baby.
The baby.
Oh, I thought you were talking about
not Reb. Not Reb.
So
the baby.
I was like, what's a tomato cry for a dog? I don't get it. How do they turn
No. The dog is living his best life, barking at a leaf.
Oh my gosh. Oh yes, no, I'm familiar with the. I didn't know that there was a technical term.
I think it's a Britney term.
Yeah, it is.
I was making a joke. Okay, thanks.
I liked it. So everybody both were like, no.
We're like, no, it's not real. It's not really, Andrea, because we believed you.
Glad I convinced you both.
Yeah, anyway.
But no, like and that's just a couple of the accessibility settings that they have. And this is a big improvement from where the franchise was. And so thank you to Deck 9 for working with your community to add some of those features, because I turned a lot of the features on that I wouldn't normally play with, but I was like, you know what, actually, I want these things. These are things that I want to make my gameplay experience more enjoyable, and I think it's great that they're making that available to people to say, hey, we want you to be able to play the game and still have a great time and enjoy the beautiful art and the sound and the
Not be startled.
music and the writing and the VO, everything about the game. And if having these features turned on makes that more accessible for you, then great. And I love that. And I want more developers to do that. So thank you, Deck 9. Cheers to you. You did great. And I look forward to one day doing a spoiler cast. So Brittany, hopefully you can play it someday.
Someday.
Yeah. All right. And with that, I think it's time to bust out the tissues and talk about Steimer.
Oh, dear.
Welcome back, everybody. We took a very long break that we have edited out of the show.
It's magic.
But part of it was baby related. The other part was alcohol related. And now we're back to talk about our girl, one Kristine Steimer, and how much we love her. And Brittany did a wonderful job putting together a little compilation. Would you like to set this up with what we're about to listen to and watch?
Oh, yeah. I mean, basically, Steimer, baby girl, you're my lover. You have been for 11 years now, and you are a presence on the show that will never, ever be able to be replaced. And I thought, what better way to kick off this tribute to Steimer and her lovely ass than this little compilation of all of these clips from 2017.
Is it just clips of my ass?
I wish it was.
Okay.
I don't have enough of those. I have a few
There's
favorite ones.
tragically too few clips of Steimer's ass.
I know. They're all in my head.
Mm-hmm.
Let's
But no.
take a look or a listen.
I'm doing this for you, is what I'm saying. You're welcome.
Anyway, I'm on a Sudafed high right now. So
I'm on a Sudafed. I'm on a Sudafed. Oh boy, yeah, Sudafed. Feed it in my tum-tum.
Wait, is that something you literally just made up?
Ooh.
Was that a pigeon sound?
I was trying. It didn't quite work out as well as I hoped. I wouldn't expect any weight from a game called Paper Mario. But
Oh, snap! Good one, Steimer. Casting with Steimer.
kind of. It's kind of getting there.
I honestly, like, mad respect. If you got up in your chair and flipped your ass around and just farted into the microphone, I'd be like, that's a power move.
Yeah. All right.
Power
noted.
move if I've ever seen one.
Ooh.
Okay, that was better. That was
Yeah.
the best of the three, but not perfection.
Do you want to drink a cat hair? Come on, let's go and play.
Ooh, no, it's not about that.
We're gonna talk about hot dudes with no shirts on, because it's what we like to do.
Ooh, no, god damn it, I can't do it now. I was like, I have performance anxiety.
Ooh.
That was better.
That was
I finally kind of did it.
Shake the shit out of the wine, don't spill it everywhere, but swirl it so good. Sing us a song, you're the piano dog. Sing us a song tonight.
Because when you're young, you don't know that it's not okay to, like, tell people they're stupid to their face.
Oh god, I did that today. Also, I'm gonna take a drink because I'm thirsty and there's no one else to carry the show but me. God. Wine is good. Alexa's already popped 2 balloons.
I've already popped 2 trying to fill them.
And she was mad because she couldn't get hers as big as mine.
It wants.
But not everyone can have a big balloon, Alexa.
Do you remember
like a
on
gravity
Monday when we
blanket?
talked about that leaked rumor about the Nintendo Entertainment System that's coming to Lego? It's coming out on my birthday!
Do you want me to buy it for you?
It's $229!
Pick something else. If you sent me
outside right now and was like, go find a beehive, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. Could you? Like, I don't think anybody would be like, yes, I know how to find a beehive. Let me come back. I don't even know how far away one would be. Is it a mile? Is it 2? Is it 10 feet? I have no fucking idea.
My gamer capture things. Love to capture my little friends. Pokemon.
The way that a cow does.
I love it, like the implication that cows chew gum. What if cows were chewing gum this whole time? Nobody knows because nobody wants to talk to the cows. I have to hold you, baby.
Okay.
she's making the pottery, everybody.
There you go. Okay, I'll try and get my hands to you.
There you go. Perfect.
It just sounds like you're choking.
Baby, I'm not gonna get into this slinky camisole. Here's a hole in my sweatpants.
Easy access. Let's go.
Let's go. I want to be warm and cozy while we do this.
John Drake, everybody.
Bye. I guess I'm gonna go back inside and do the dishes.
Yeah. Clean up the house.
I don't know. I don't know if I can do hand. I don't know if I can do hand farts. I got nothing.
It's hard.
I got nothing.
Because it makes us money. So much pretty money.
So much
All I
free
want
money.
is another house in the Bahamas. I want to get it in the evening, and I want to get it at supper time. When pizza's on a bagel.
Or whatever.
Pizza's on a bagel. You can have pizza and it's on a bagel because it's a bagel bite.
Oh no.
What? No, I turned it off! I thought I turned it off! Oh, God. I'm so sorry. I can growl.
Do it.
Oh, fucking shit!
Wow.
Do it again! Do it again! Do it again!
Oh yeah. It's the same thing, and then there's a should I show this? This is us in the studio.
What the fuck is happening? What the fuck did you all do? Jesus. What?
I spilled my wine, okay?
How is everybody doing? Everybody good?
That's her husky.
Sounds like
Steimer's
us.
doing great.
I'm doing fantastic.
Should I get you a bottle of water?
No.
And it goes around forever, so she's really, really busy. So she hollers, keep up busy, Cinderella. That's not the words, but sort of the words.
I've never heard this song.
Eat your wieners, eat your wieners.
Eat the wieners. They're great.
Don't you wanna eat your wieners? Teeth prison, they're clear, but you can't leave. It's like a weird force field thing, and you brush
Teeth
your
prison.
teeth. 'Cause Andrea's dancing to the song about teeth and the prisons that we keep them in.
That's gonna do it for me. I'm gonna stop talking now. I almost just said good night and good luck, and then I just did say it. So, there's gotta be something better than this. Doesn't matter. Good night and good luck. Good night and good luck indeed. There was a few things in there I do not remember at all. I have zero recollection of.
I'm doing this
Dude,
for
it was
you.
so
is
fun.
what
I mean, I went through literally every clip in our Dropbox folder from 2017. And there was just so many memories. And I'm like, oh my God, I forgot about like half of those too. Ladies and gentlemen, we like to drink during our shows, if you haven't noticed. And sometimes we go a little overboard, especially when we're all together in the studio. And
I was sad that there was only, I mean, like the ones that we were all together, but then one where you were here, I was like, oh, it hasn't happened in so long.
oh, I know. It was really weird seeing that.
Yeah, you were like, wait, I have been there.
You were at the studio. Like, we had you here. It was a thing that actually existed. And there was just so many memories. Like, I think sometimes we forget how many years that we've been doing the show for and how many episodes. This is episode 241.
Yeah.
I believe. And sometimes at the top of the episode, it'll be like whether this is your first episode or your...
Yeah, but then you made me do the intro, and I didn't remember to do that because I had a blackout moment where I was like, oh, shit.
I don't remember to do it most times. And it's not like a thing I do every week. It's something I do every once in a while, right? Like to call out to people just how many episodes we've been doing the show. And it's just one of those things that you look back and go, wow, we've really had a lot of really cool, fun memories together.
Absolutely. Thanks for putting that together, guys. That was really cute.
Well, it's really all Brittany, and she definitely reached out to me and was like, "Can you help me with this thing?" And I was like, "Yes." And then I forgot to help her, and so she's like, "I got this."
Aw, thanks, lover.
But
Everyone's a lover.
But it was a tag team effort of compiling the clips over the years, because whenever we compile clips for like our anniversary streams and things like that, it's a tag team effort between Brittany and I, because Brittany puts together these awesome social promotions that you guys see on Facebook or on Twitter, and then I edit the show, most weeks, and I'll put together random clips that I get of our like down moments, things that we do before the show, things that we do on the breaks, stuff that you guys never see on the show. And Brittany is almost always clipping stuff that's inside the show, and I'll clip things that like never sees the light of day otherwise, unless it's in like one of our compilations. And so we have quite a cornucopia of clips in our #clips folder in our archives. So it was fun to go back, and we have so many amazing memories. I just think back to the first year that we launched the show, and like that WGG con where everybody came to my house in San Mateo.
Yep.
And we're like, are we gonna do this thing?
And we're like, I guess so. We're all here. Let's fucking rock and roll. It was funny seeing the clip too, where I was like, "Oh, I was in my aunt's house. Like that was a very long time ago."
I remember when we would shoot the show, and the sun would move so dramatically from when we would start recording to the end of the recording, that you would start in like full sunlight, and then you'd have to like turn all of your lights on by the end of it.
It'd be pitch black.
And I was like, there's gotta be a better way.
I was like, there's really not. I'm in this bedroom. Like there's not much I can do about it.
Hey, weren't you balancing your mic on some pillows?
My mic stand was a pile of books.
Yeah,
that's right.
I had fuck all at that point. Really, it was like.
Oh, I mean, none of us did. I mean,
yeah.
Look at those clips. Like I was using my mic. I don't remember from what, but it covered up half my face the whole time. I remember that, and just like, oh man, you forget, like Andrea said, how long we've really been doing this together. And I mean, God, it's been 4 years now. I was like, 28. I wasn't even married.
Nope, you weren't.
You were not married.
Wow.
You were with Jason, but you were not married.
That's true. Very true. Oh, Steimer.
Oh, Brittany.
We Steimer and I, we talked about this a little bit over text today. It's like, we've been friends for 11 years at this point. And we've never lived in the same state. We've never even lived close to each other. Like our entire friendship has been based off of text messages and like a few random phone calls. So I was telling her, I'm like, I'm remaining optimistic that, and I know it'll be fine, that you and I will continue to keep in touch through text messages. And of course we will, 11 years of friendship doesn't go away.
Right.
But yeah, we just have to be a lot better about checking in now that we're not going to have this weekly show. So, and it's weird because I haven't seen you physically, or Andrea for that matter, obviously, since early 2020. And so to me, this is the only friendship I know with you right now.
Is virtual through this medium.
But I know it's so much different for the two of you because you've both kind of survived this pandemic together. You've been each other's pandemic buddies.
Yeah.
And I know that has to be really hard now that you're not going to have that physical presence anymore.
Yeah, it's I think that it being really hard is an understatement. And in my mind, I had this grand speech I was going to make, and I tried writing it out multiple times, and I was just fell apart every time. I was like, I don't know what to say. And then I would delete it, and I would write it, and then I would delete it. And I was like, why don't I just do bullet points? And I wrote all these bullet points in this Google Doc. I was like, these are the things that I want to talk about with Steimer when she comes to do her last show. And to be clear, our friendship is going to continue.
Yes.
Thankfully, the power of the internet is something that allows us to have voice chats and video chats and to see each other, and there's reasons why I could, find myself in Europe once a year.
I mean,
how terrible, how awful.
But I think what it comes down to really is just these memories that we've made together and kind of like how our friendship started, because you and Brittany started your friendship years before you and I ever became friends.
Yeah.
And it was something that was a really unique thing, that you and I coming together as friends, because I was friends with a man named Greg Miller, who most of our audience knows.
A man named Greg Miller.
This guy, Greg Miller. He hosts some stuff on the internet. You may have heard of him.
A little bit.
And when I first met Steimer, you were, living with one said Greg Miller, and you knew my boyfriend at the time, John Drake. And you guys were chummy and friends, and I was chummy and friends with Greg. And we were like, whoa, we should all like get together and hang out. And then we hung out for the first time, and I was like, this bitch is cool. I would rather hang out with her. No offense, Greg. I love you. You know I do. And we became kind of like brunch buddies in San Francisco when I had just moved up there and didn't really know anybody. And I was like, I really like this girl. I think she's awesome. We should hang out more. And then we started hanging out, and the way that What's Good kind of came about was after you had moved away, and I was like super sad because you're like, I'm leaving to go to Los Angeles, and I was like, but I
You were like, I want to go to Los Angeles, and I was like, come with me.
And I couldn't, obviously, because I was living.
You
with
had
my,
other things to take
with
care
my
of.
man. But when Brittany had mentioned, she was like, have you talked to Steimer about being part of the show? And I hadn't, because you were doing your own thing. You had your own Patreon. You had your own channel. Steimer says
defunct.
Yeah.
My mom went looking for that the other day, and she's like, what happened to all your stuff? I was like, oh, I deleted that shit.
You're like, years ago. Sunset
It is gone. I mean, I'm sure somebody could have possibly saved it, but it's not public anymore.
Yeah. But I didn't even think to ask you, because I was like, you're doing your own thing, and I didn't want to encroach on, your independent voice as a creator. And Brittany's like, let's just ask her. And then you were like, yeah, I've been wanting to do a group thing for like the whole time.
Yes, I've never wanted to be a solo person, which is why I deleted all my shit. Like, I don't want to do this alone, which is why I was always grateful that you two were here to really, drive the ship forward, and I could kind of pop on and be like the goofball, really. But
you say pop on and be the goofball, but I think you're not giving yourself enough credit.
Underselling yourself,
right? Yeah. Underselling herself for sure, because I think what people sometimes fail to realize about you and your experience is that not only do you come from an editorial background, having worked for places like IGN, having worked for podcasts like Girl Fight, and have that experience, but you also worked for developers like EA and BioWare, like CD Projekt Red, and now like Riot Games. And so you have that perspective to say, I worked in editorial, I'm a game lover myself, and a player of games, but I also am a maker of games and part of teams that make games. And that's why you're such a incredible powerhouse on our team that I'm like so sad you're leaving. I'm like, we're not that Brittany and I obviously don't have a lot to say about video games.
You guys are very
Clearly we do. If you've listened to the show and you're fans of the show, Brittany and I have no shortage of things to say about games. But I think your perspective is such a unique one that we really value in a way that sometimes our audience that comes here for the first time doesn't fully understand. Oh my God, I'm already crying, you guys. This is why I brought the big box of tissues.
It was smart. It was smart. It is a big box.
I'm just gonna put the tissues here.
That's amazing. It looks like a bit from a
Let me just like
sitcom.
I've just wedged the tissues underneath my eyeglasses.
It looks like one of those masks that people used to wear back in the day, like
the doctor masks. The plague masks.
Like, get that out of your fucking. I can't deal with that.
So I mean,
or you look like a splicer. Just gonna say it.
Or that, my point is that you're amazing and wonderful, and sometimes I think people underestimate you, and they shouldn't, because you're the fucking best.
Oh, thanks. Brittany's losing her mind looking at you. If you're just listening to this show, you really should go to youtube.com/whatsgoodgames and just see Andrea, scrub until you find Andrea sticking tissues under her glasses, because it's a great visual.
It's a glorious, but no, like
This is a really effective way to manage my tears, though.
So if you are crying, get glasses, and then push the tissues up under your glasses. Solved. Problem solved.
And then you pull them away and your makeup is fine.
And it's all
great.
done. You're great. You're good to go.
Like you're not eternally
Fucking
dead
nailed
inside.
it.
It's okay.
Everything's
It's fine.
great.
But no, like to Andrea's point, which is a very, very good sharp point. Whenever I would pull notes for the show and stories, and it was always like development related, I was always really excited to get Steimer's feedback, and that's why I was like, Steimer, you know way more about this than I do. Like what? Because all I know is just stuff I've heard, secondhand from developers or like friends of developers. I've never actually worked in the game industry itself, so to get that feedback is just invaluable. And you have such a way with words that I feel like has always been there, but I think when you really fucking like waved your fine ass in front of everyone and they're like, God damn, that's a fine ass, was The Last of Us Part 2 the spoiler cast and your review of it. I just remember like distinctly you just wowed me, and I was literally speechless when you were talking about your experience with that game and the way you journaled during it. It's just like the way you talk about video games and the way you talk about the development side of things is just so incredible, and you are just like amazing, and I love you so much. And obviously like I appreciate the conversations you and I have when it has something to do with video games. Like those are like some of my favorite. And spoilers, friends, 99% of all of our conversations are not about video games.
Correct.
It's true. It's true. One of my bullet points in my Steimer doc was, you bring a level of class to whatever you do, but never hesitated to throw on a Snorlax onesie and eat snacks in my kitchen.
And cry in your kitchen. I cried from laughing. It was from laughing so hard.
I just found that photo and I sent it to you.
Yeah.
I still have a video of you
There's a
drunk
video
on
of
the
me
floor of my kitchen.
I am drunk on the floor, laughing so hard I'm crying. And I don't remember what I was laughing at.
Yeah.
We were making cookies that night, I think. That's all I remember.
That sounds
Probably.
right.
Yeah.
Sugar cookies is what they were. But anyway, but your insight into the industry is just, you're so well spoken, and you have such a way of articulating what you're describing in a way that everyone could understand. Even like my grandma, who doesn't know shit about the game development industry, could understand it. And for that, like, I forever appreciate you, and that's going to be sorely, sorely missed. I guess in the meantime, I also have to fill the void by talking in weird Muppet voices and hoping I fool everyone into thinking I know what I'm talking about.
I mean, if you guys turn this podcast into a Muppet podcast, I'd be very excited. But that's also very nice to hear.
It's just Muppets all the time now, everybody.
Oh no, it's the one voice I can't do. I'm not confident enough to do the Muppet voice very well. But no, anytime I speak, especially around Last of Us, it was one of those things where I felt like I was just word vomiting. And I was like, I hope I'm making a lick of sense here. I don't actually know. And then people were like, no, I really loved it. And I was like, okay, thank God. But like when you are speaking on a podcast, even though I had notes technically of how I wanted to run down and talk about certain points, you never really know, especially when you're talking live. For me, again, this is like a black box. Like it's just fucking gone. Like the minute after I say something, I don't remember it. There again, like I mentioned in those clips, some of those clips I remember because I've seen them before. But the ones that I hadn't seen before that were relatively quote unquote new to me, I'm like, I have zero recollection of this. What were we talking about?
Joke, right? Is you don't remember what happened last week.
Yeah, I don't. I'm like, oh, okay, well, shit.
I'll get beat up. Some people be like, "Oh my God, you said this one thing that one time, and it was so funny." And you're
And
like,
I'm like,
Yeah, totally. I remember that one time.
Yep.
It was great.
That's me. My brain literally just dumps information. Like every night when I go to sleep, it's like, get rid of it. Get rid of all the information. I am Deathloop in my brain. Just erases everything.
It must be so nice. I just think back to all of the memories that we've had as a crew, thinking back to our first E3, that
it was fun dancing to
demo,
Chainsmokers.
The Chainsmokers at the Bethesda conference,
fun.
us being together in that weird room for the PlayStation conference where they revealed
That was way
Last
too
of Us.
hot. I was like, I'm gonna die in this room.
It's like
It was
weird
gross.
church room. We're like, this is not
Church
okay.
room where we were way too packed. It was way too hot, and I couldn't see because I am 5'2", and there were other people around me that were taller than I was. It's like, y'all did not think this through, did you?
When you had the double ear infection.
Oh shit! Yeah, that was bad. That was gnarly. That was the last time I was. Well, that's not. The last time I was super sick with a sinus infection. The last time I was really sick was in Paris, where I got very bad food poisoning.
Oh, when we went to London and did our very first What's Good Games meetup in London.
That was super fun. Spice Girls was amazing.
Girls,
I'll never forget it.
Dude, I still think it's that.
Yeah.
one of the best experiences of my life. I will never forget us walking back from that
Yes.
concert in the rain
Oh,
with
yeah.
thousands of fans just singing
Fucking up traffic.
songs, like just like
Fucking
literally fucking up traffic. There was no way traffic was getting through there.
No.
We were just like, we gave up on our hair like hours ago. We're like, fuck it, we're in the rain. It's Manchester, and
We're rolling with
Yeah.
it.
we're just gonna like walk down the street with thousands of other Spice Girls fans.
And
Like,
we were all singing together. Oh, that was so fun.
we went to my very first afternoon tea together, and I learned the
Yes.
difference between high tea and afternoon tea,
Yes.
which was a very interesting thing.
We did. We had a great time. We ate. We fucking destroyed the plate.
Oh yes, bring
Like,
on the sweets,
Pastries
bitches.
and stuff. We were like, we should have taken a picture, but I think we were so hungry. We were just, we demolished it the
Ate
minute
it
it came to the
all.
table. And then we were like, oh, oops.
Whoopsie.
So any pictures we have at that table, it's us with a completely destroyed
food
tray
eaten
of food.
do you guys also remember when we went to Oklahoma?
Oh my God.
Oh my god.
And we and we went to that Oklahoma gaming convention, and then we ended up at that weird like luchadoras karaoke night.
Oh, that was so good.
It was like
Yes.
wrestling, and then it turned into karaoke where you
Yes.
sang karaoke
in
inside the
in
ring.
Yeah, I remember that. And then we
I was
went to
remembering the
arcade.
bar with the arcade
Yeah,
that had fun
the
shots.
arcade. That was fun.
That was great. Actually, honestly, Oklahoma was way better than I was anticipating.
It was fun. It was so fun because you didn't have like the stress and the hustle and bustle of like a usual convention. We were purely there just to be what's good and like have fun and like meet people and say hi.
Yeah.
I'm remembering, Steimer, when I needed a place to stay at E3
Mm-hmm.
because it was I think it was E3. It was one of my very
Yeah, it was
first
definitely
E3 that I-
E3.
Yeah. And you were like, I have a room if you want to stay here for one night. And I was like, sure, let's go. And we
Did you only stay
ordered-
for a night?
It was only one night.
Do you remember what year this was?
No. I think I was working at IGN at the time, so very long time
2011?
ago.
2010, 2011.
Yeah, something like that.
It could have been because I remember I shared a room with 3 other people from the IGN blogging community, and I slept on. We took turns sleeping on the floor because that was the only way we could
God.
afford
Dude,
a room at
that's
that point.
that's the dedication, y'all. Okay, you out there
Yeah.
listening, going, "How do I do what these women do?" That's the kind of dedication you need to be able to
Sleep
sleep
on
on
the
a floor
floor.
during the E3, yo.
And like literally, like it was a nasty ass room. Like, but you do what you got to do. That was the year that Activision had that huge concert, with like Eminem and Rihanna.
I did not
Mhm.
go to that.
I did
Yeah.
not either.
Oh, that was a good time. Anyway,
Brittany's
so
like, I did.
needed-
Brittany's
flew
like,
in-
"Bitches, I got in."
I needed a day. I needed to get there a day early before our hotel reservation was to take effect. And Steimer was like, "I have a room," and it was only that night because I think you were staying with someone else. I don't know.
I
who
don't.
It
It
was.
was way too long ago for me to
Yeah,
remember
but
the
that
details.
night just happened
She's
to
like,
line up.
"Sure."
So
I remember
we-
you staying with me. I don't remember
yeah.
any of the other details.
And I remember walking in, and your hotel room was just like fucking pristine. You had all your clothes hung up, and you had like everything like neatly folded. And at the time, I was like, "Why? What's up with this?" Like, but I hadn't been traveling at that point. I had never really traveled before. But now, then I understood, like, when you travel for the gaming industry and events and whatnot, you need to have like a very clean and pristine environment. Otherwise, your sanity will go out the window. Anyway, I still think about that to this day. How you were like so like clean, you hung all your shit up, and I never did at that point, and I didn't for years to come. But now I understand because I do the same thing. Anyway, we ordered a cheese platter,
Yep.
and we watched the World's Strongest Men competition.
Yep. Because I remember specifically because the strongman competition to us, I was like, this feels backwards. Like they pulled a plane and then they pulled a truck and then they pulled a car. And I was like,
Yeah.
no. You ramp up to the plane. Why are you ramping down to the car?
Fair.
Not impressive.
It was very anticlimactic. It was very strange. But yeah,
I
no,
think
that was
the
super
first
fun. I
time
still
ever
remember that.
saw you in person. It was when we stayed in the.
Was that the first time we'd met in person?
Yes.
I was just like,
I
come
think it
stay with me in my hotel room,
Yeah,
stranger.
Yeah, 'cause we had bonded over drinking names before then. Oh my god, how much fun!
I had a lot of
Oh.
trust that you were a real human being and you were not catfishing me.
Could you imagine?
That would have been such a different. That's like a sliding mirrors moment or sliding doors. Sorry, where it's like in one world where Brittany is real, and then the other world where she's not, and she just murders me in my hotel.
In a parallel alternate universe, that happened.
Okay.
Thankfully not this time. Yeah, I love where your mind goes. It's a little dark. I'll fuck with you. I'll roll.
Oh, I know, Brittany. I know.
Well,
Oh,
I mean,
Oh,
it's
my
kind of like
bad.
weird having kind of weird having this conversation because, like, obviously, like Andrea said, our friendship is not going away. But it's a
Correct.
fun, like, reflective episode where we're
Yeah.
like, oh, remember this time? When...
Yeah. Speaking of reflective, Brittany asked our community if they had any thoughts that they would like to give
Oh no.
to you, Steimer, and compiled them into a video. And I am going to share that video with everybody right now.
Meow. Right meow.
Steimer, congratulations, you've done it. You're the best, most fantastic salty strawberry in the business, and you get to go to Germany and show them your brand of Muppet Crazy. I hope you have a fantastic time and do well in everything you do, as you're already smashing it.
Hey Steimer, we are so sad to see you go, but we are also very happy and proud that you are taking this position out in Germany. We know you're going to do great things, as Steimer would. Please come back and bless us with a soliloquy or two in the future. Don't be a stranger, and just know that the What's Good Games community loves you so very much. All right, bye.
Hey there, Steimer. Just want to say a massive good luck for your move to Germany. I'm sure you'll absolutely smash it. We'll certainly miss your salty takes on the show, but look forward to seeing you come back eventually as a guest. Until then, take care.
Hey Steimer, this is Devin. I just wanted to say thank you so much for all of your hard work these past 4 years with What's Good Games. I know for myself and for a lot of other people, the show has meant a lot just to have a space in the gaming community to make people feel good and safe, and I think you are absolutely one of the reasons why that is the case. Losing you on the show is definitely very bittersweet, but like Andrea said, I think, on the show last week, you get to go live out your dreams, and you get to go live in a whole new place and experience so many new and cool things, and you get to still do what you love, and that's so amazing. I know as viewers, not just myself, but everyone listening is really proud of you and everything you've accomplished. So celebrate. Enjoy every moment you've got with that. And I will ask if you do come back, and I believe you're definitely going to pop in here and there, but Dragon Age, I do hope whatever news we get in the future, cross our fingers it's soon, we hear Steimer's takes. I want Steimer's hot takes on whatever news we get. And if when the game does come out for Dragon Age 4, we do get to hear your takes and insights, because we've been waiting long enough. We all know we've been waiting way too long for this game. So I do hope someday we'll have a What's Good reunion where a Dragon Age 4 review will happen. But best travels, I'd be the same.
Hi, Stimes. El Padre here in Luna. We're wishing you all the best on your new adventure. We wish you so much good luck. But seriously, we're going to miss your contributions on What's Good Games. Anyways, good luck.
Hey, Steimer. Congratulations on your new position. I hope you really enjoy your time in Berlin. It's a pretty cool city. And we were all going to miss you. I just want to say that on the day when you girls launched your Patreon, I was watching you stream Stardew Valley, and that's how I found out about it. So thank you for that. Have a great time in Berlin, and yeah, take care.
Hey Steimer, just want to say that you're going to be missed so much on What's Good Games. You're such a presence on that show, and you just contribute so much to that energy. But we're all really excited for what you're going to do next, and I hope you have an awesome time in Germany. Thanks, and so much good luck to you.
Steimer, I can't believe you're going. I really can't. Where am I going to get my weekly dose of sodium, girl? I know you're going to do great in Germany, so absolutely smash it, and I can't wait to see you again on the podcast. Take care, and stay safe. Also, I'm not crying, you are, okay? I've been cutting onions in my car. What's your excuse?
Hey Steimer, Mike Fitzgerald, aka Sigh of the Torrent. Thank you for all the content you've been a part of these past 2 years between What's Good Games and Steimer Says. We're sad to see you go, but it's awesome to watch you follow a dream and make that come true. Germany's a great place. I've never been, but we posted 2 exchange students there, and if half of what they said about it is true, you're in for a really special time. I'll miss you on the shows, and PAX East. I'm south of Boston. So the last time I got to see you guys was 2019, before the world lit on fire. Best of luck in Germany, and it's not goodbye. Get to see you again soon.
Steimer, no, we're losing another one. It's I don't want to say it's a tragedy. It is really sad though. Steimer's kept it real on the What's Good Game show since it's been going on. Has provided very realistic feedback on games and just things in general. And that type of feedback you don't hear a lot in the gaming industry. So I definitely appreciate everything that you've done. All the commentary, all the memories, there's a ton. But you will definitely be missed, and I know you're going to do outstanding things at your new job. So, sorry, even my dog is sad. So, thank you again for everything, and keep doing awesome things. And it's never, ever a goodbye. It's a see you later. So, we'll see you soon, Steimer. Have fun.
That was very cute. And the audio on the last one got me because I was like, what is this noise?
When I was editing that, I'm like, okay, is it my dog? Is it the kid? Like, what
Yeah.
the fuck is happening?
And he's like, it's my dog. I was like, oh, okay.
No, like a huge shout out. Like, I didn't give the community much runway to submit their videos, and those who did, like, I really appreciate it. I wanted to make sure that they had their chance to say goodbye and wish you well wishes. And obviously, we have like so many more people on the Facebook fan page, but I know you deleted Facebook, so like
A while ago, yeah.
you
Years
can check
ago.
it out. But like everyone's wishing you the best of luck, as you can tell.
Oh, thanks everybody. No, it's been really special to be a part of this, and I think, part of Devin's point where she was talking about it's for me joining What's Good was multiple things. One was, I really like these ladies, so I was like, cool, I get to hang out with some of my friends and potentially get a little extra money. Talk about video games, which is a thing we all love and share that passion. So why not? Sounds baller. But the other thing that was really important to me was just being visible. Just having, and it's not that the show is about being women, it's not, but just having there be visible women in this space, I think is so important because it shows other women that not only is it possible, it's welcomed, it's accepted, it's normal. You aren't weird. You aren't like some strange beast out in the world alone. Like, no, we're all here and we can talk about it and it's cool. So that was what was always really important to me, was to just try and normalize us being in this space. And I feel like the industry as a whole has gotten much better at this as we've gotten along, which is great. I'm not going to say that was all necessarily us, but I'd like to think that we contributed to that in some small amount. And so when she was asking, like, will you come back for Dragon Age? I'm like, hell yes. So funnily enough, before you guys went on maternity leave, yours regular maternity leave, yours like apocalyptic maternity leave. So Greg had texted me and was like, do you have any interest in doing, content for Kind of Funny on this break? And I was like, honestly, no. Unless something from BioWare comes up, don't talk to me. Like, I want a break.
Don't talk to me.
I didn't say it like that. I was nicer to him. But it was, it was basically that. Like, if it's not about BioWare, I'm not interested. I don't want to talk about it. So no, I'm going to go take my break and enjoy my life. And that's kind of the similar thing of like, obviously not the don't talk to me. Please talk to me. Please talk to me all the time. But if something BioWare happens and like a game comes out, yeah, I want to talk about it with you guys. Of course I want to talk about it with you guys. I'll probably have to find somebody else's setup to use, but that's fine. There's streamers in Berlin.
Can't imagine a BioWare game releasing, whether it be Mass Effect or even Coder. Well, take that for what you will, or Dragon Age, and not having you on the show. I mean, that's how you and I first bonded, was over Dragon Age. And then we reconnected over The Witcher. And like, yeah, you and I have a long history of these games, and I just can't even fathom talking about those games and not.
Egg! What happened, Egg? You son of a bitch!
You fucking run.
The worst betrayal of all time.
The worst fucking betrayal, you pointy-eared fucker.
I mean, like, I've had some weird encounters with men in my life. That has to be, like, the fucking worst. Can you imagine?
Ultimate betrayal.
Ultimate betrayal. You
There's
think you know someone, you slept with them, theoretically, maybe. Oh, it's a little unclear in that particular romance. The other ones are much more explicit, and and then they turn around, they're like, BT Dubs, I'm your complete total enemy. Okay, bye. You're like, what the fuck? Not okay. Not okay.
Not okay. Yeah. Well, good. You heard it, Devin, here first.
Yes, Devin, don't worry about it.
Don't worry.
I would love to talk about Egg and how stupid he is.
And because of the time zones and our schedules as moms, it might work out that we can record something like early in the day for
You're
us.
not wrong.
And it's late in the day for Steimer.
Or
and,
if
like, this all works
let's
out.
see, because late in the day my time, I think, is morning your time. Anyways, we'll have to figure.
it
Yeah,
is.
so I mean that could work
9
too,
a.m.
right?
here is basically 5 p.m. over there.
Yeah, so like if you guys wanted a late morning show.
Yeah, that sounds terrible, doing a show at 11 a.m. Who wants to go to work then?
Just have a mimosa, you'll be fine.
I was joking.
Okay.
Yeah. I was like, no, that's
11 a.m. sounds lovely.
It's 8 p.m. right now.
Oh shit.
It's just it still doesn't feel real for me. I think.
No, I don't think
in
it
a
will
lot of
for
ways.
a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. I think like the fact that this is your last show doesn't feel like it's your last show. Like some of you guys said in your videos, it's not goodbye. It's we'll see you later for sure, most definitely.
Bis
And-
bald.
Yeah,
that's how you say it in German.
Wait, fistbald?
Bisbald.
Bisbald?
Bisbald.
It's like see you
Sounds
later.
like Blitzball from Final Fantasy X.
It's definitely it's it's blitzball. It's blitzball.
Just blitzball.
Blitzball.
Blitzball, everybody.
That's my new like sign off message to you. Blitzball.
Blitzball. Honestly, I'll know what you mean. It's fine. We've translated. It's a new version of German we're making based on Final Fantasy.
It was interesting because like we make jokes, but so many times Brittany and I were like over these last couple of weeks when we've known that this day was coming, been like, what are we actually going to do though about the show? So like we can all like make platitudes, but I think there's no denying that there's no replacing Steimer. Like there's no replacing your voice ever. And there's no replacing your commitment to our show, your commitment to what we represented in the industry, as you mentioned, and how important that is. Like getting our voices as women out in the video game industry, even looking at when we started the show in 2017 to where we're at now in 2021, it's like the progress has been astronomical in such a short amount of time as to where we've come. From hold on everybody,
Hold on, you gotta do your weird splicer mask for a second.
Let me just tuck these up here while I talk.
I love you.
I'm gonna do every emotional podcast like this now. Like, don't worry about me, guys. Everything's fine.
It's all good. It's all good.
Just this idea that we were able to create this business together and have this really wonderful thing, and like it's hard for me to fully express to everybody how much it means, not just from where we started with the company back in 2017 with WGG Con and everything we did together as a business, but like how you have been there for me personally in so many ways since the pandemic began. Oh my God. I'm trying to keep it together, everybody.
You're doing great.
Thank you. And how you've been my pandemic buddy.
Yeah.
You know, like you've been like the person who's been here. And then on top of that, like you were there for me during like the hardest times I've ever been through.
I will always be there for both of you.
You were the first person to hold my baby, Steimer.
She cute little bean.
I'm okay, everybody. I'm okay. Everything's fine.
You're making me cry now a little bit. I got a tear.
Oh my God, I got one tear.
You got a tear out of me, you bitch.
Like you had the puffs in your glasses, I didn't know whether to laugh or cry. But now you're not really giving me much of a choice. So thank you.
We're all a big bag of emotions at this
We
point.
said we were gonna be a blubbering mess here.
Yes.
Yes.
It's
and
accurate.
luckily I ran out of wine like 30 minutes ago, so otherwise this would be way worse. But I love that we've gotten to run this business together, and I'm gonna miss you a lot.
I miss you guys too, but I'm also gonna call you a lot.
Yes, And we're going to be like, listen, you said you would come back to the show. What are you doing this week? So you said you would come back to the show. What are you doing this week? So next
every week, every Monday, you're like, what are you doing this week?
So
Same
you're
thing
not
I
busy.
do every night,
You're not
Pinky.
busy, right? Cool. Just
cool,
come back.
cool.
You're still on the show, right? You're still on the show, right?
I think that's why it doesn't feel real, is because our relationship with Steimer is going to continue past the show. But I think that first episode back next week, when Steimer's not here, I think that's where it's really going to like hit me right in the feels. You know, when you're not going to be there, baby girl, to greet me with your Brittany.
Yeah. Brittany.
And also just like, everyone knows Steimer's awesome, but I can count on like half of a hand the amount of friends I've had for over 10 years. So it's like I've had 3, and Steimer is one of them, and I am a 33-year-old woman. The best thing about Steimer, and I'm just gonna like, I was gonna say lick your ass.
Well, that would be a very Brittany appropriate term to say.
I was gonna lick your ass for a while, but I'll do it anyway.
Kiss
I still say I haven't kissed, but lick came up first.
They're semi-equal.
Still, you know,
And then, like,
similar
that
action.
is the prime example of what I was gonna say is like Steimer's one of those people that you can just be yourself 100%. And anyone who's like been my real friend, and these 2 ladies are like them. You know, like I can be weird. I can say some really off the wall shit, some really crude, like gross shit. But there are some people that I can't be that way around because they get like offended. And the best thing about Steimer, and Andrea for that matter, but I've known Steimer longer, so this is all about her, is that I can just like say whatever the fuck I want, do whatever the fuck I want. And Steimer is just like, cool, that's Britt. Whatever, it is what it is. And when you find a real friend like that, you just have to fucking hold on to them. And so, yes, she's amazing on the podcast, but in person, as like a person and as a friend, she's one of the people that I respect the most. And I love you.
Oh, I
And
love
that's
you
my
too,
ass
friend.
licking of the day.
Oh, thanks for the ass lick. It felt really good.
I mean, it's hard to be
Brittany
soppy and emotional when you're talking about licking each other's asses.
Brittany is my improv yes and partner. Like her and I, if we want to go down a weird fucking hole, I know she's coming with me, and I know she's there 110%. And Andrea sometimes is just watching, going, "What?
Listen,
what's happening?"
I'm good at
And then
improv,
you
but sometimes the
you
mom in
jump
me
in.
is like, well,
Exactly. I'm like, half the time you jump into, as we saw again with some of those clips where you just started howling with us, which is great. And then sometimes you're like, rein it in a little bit, guys. We're
there's
like,
gotta be an adult here somewhere. Yeah.
But yeah, that's how I knew that you and I were starting to be real friends, Brittany. Was when there's Brittany is a very happy-go-lucky in general, a very positive person. But I remember, I don't remember the specific time or date or whatever, but when you started being like, and I don't want to say more negative because that sounds bad, but like when you would say
More salty.
Yeah, when you started to show me your salt side, I was like, this bitch is my friend now. Like, we're friends now. I've made it. We're good. Like, because that's really what I want all aspects of a person when I'm friends with them.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know, obviously, like, yes, positive, bright, sunny sides, but I'm also totally fine hanging out, seeing, like, the darker sides or what's going on over there. Like, I don't mind. I like it. I prefer it. I like very few friends, but very deep friendships, if that makes sense. So,
yeah.
Yes, exactly.
I feel you.
This ass licking feels good.
Steimer, behind you.
Yeah.
Is a photo of the 3 of us. Can you grab it for me? Just slightly get up off the chair. This has been on set since we've started What's Good here in Los Angeles, and I think you need to take this with you to Germany.
Oh, I would love to.
So take it as a memento.
Dude, this drink got me fucked up. It's the grasshopper where it's so delicious.
The modified
oh my god,
yes.
it's so good. And then I drank 1 cup of it because it just tasted like mint chocolate.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, I think I'm drunk. She was like, well,
And
it's
Andrea
all
was like,
alcohol, so that would make sense. And I was like, oh, okay, that does make sense.
So for people who are listening to the podcast and don't know what's happening, there's been a photo on set here in our Los Angeles studio since we've started at What's Good Games of the 3 of us in our Christmas onesies holding these little holiday themed mugs that contain a drink that I made for Brittany and Steimer that has 3 different types of alcohol. It's creme de menthe.
Creme de menthe is definitely in there.
Bailey's, and I think it was vanilla. No, it was whipped cream vodka.
Ooh.
And it's just delicious. And it's a nice holiday treat. And you can put it in coffee or you can just drink it like it is. And I also added chocolate syrup to it.
Oh, that's right.
That's the non-alcohol ingredient. It's just sugar syrup.
That makes sense.
And Steimer's like, I'm wasted. I'm like, yeah, it's just alcohol. There's like
It's
no
just alcohol
mixer.
and sugar. So good.
It's like
Godspeed.
drinking a vodka
Good
martini.
luck.
Yeah, but it's delicious. And it's been a staple on our set here. And I think that you should take it with you
I would love
and
to.
bring it to your home in Germany and think of all of our times here.
I also have, I have individual Polaroids with me and Brittany where we are also in onesies, or different onesies. And then I have the picture with you and Winnie when he was like a baby.
Oh, Winston.
So I have those there on my fridge. So like, you're always there. And I have a few other What's Good photos up there too.
Yeah, take all the photos.
Yeah, I'll take my fridge wall.
Yeah, take it all.
I'm going
take
to.
Take it all.
I do not intend to leave it behind.
I don't even know how do we even like end this episode?
Pass it to Steimer. We let Steimer wrap
Oh
it up.
Yeah.
no! You made me start this show. You're gonna make me end the show. You could have at least given me a heads up.
Girl, at least if you bomb it, it's okay. Don't worry about it.
It's just us.
But I don't know what to say. I'm gonna say goodnight and good luck again. I'm gonna be really embarrassed.
You don't have to be embarrassed about anything. It's just, maybe just speak on your experience with the show and if you have any parting thoughts for everybody who's listening.
I mean, if you're still listening, good on you. Thanks for being a part of this and just fucking sticking with it the whole time. You did not go, I don't want to listen to this anymore. I will put it on pause or I will just stop. You continued to listen to us rambling about how much we love each other and miss each other or will miss each other. And that means like you're a part of this. You're part of this little family. And so thank you for sticking around, being part of it. And I really hope that everybody continues to stick around and support both Andrea and Brittany on this show. I know that they'll continue to produce a great show. And even though I'm not going to be on every week, again, I would love to stop by from time to time. If there's some Dragon Age news, whoo, you bet your sweet little ass. I'm going to be like, what is going on? Even if I have to pre-record something on my shitty phone, I will do that. So this is definitely, as many of you have said in the lovely videos you all sent, this is not goodbye. This is a see you later, see you soon, see you whenever, see you around kind of a deal. So yeah, I guess we'll leave it there. Thank you all so much for the well wishes. Yeah, it's definitely a strange but bittersweet moment, and also kind of still not quite sinking in, even though I'm supposed to leave next week. It's very weird. And I'm sure it will sink in later, and I'll be like, holy shit, what is life? But life is really about just doing what you want to do and going for it. So I'm very still excited and happy and thrilled to have this opportunity, and I can't wait to go and hopefully smash it, as y'all have said. So I hope to make everybody proud. Yeah,
we have no doubt.
Fucking crushed it.
Yeah,
crushed
no
that.
doubt. Will make us proud. And Brittany and I will come visit you in Germany.
You
when
better.
We can. We'll dump the babies with the husbands.
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
Once babies are a little older, you go to daddy.
We'll do a fan meetup in Berlin.
We'll just hang out.
Yes.
We'll drink beers and eat Wiener Schnitzel.
That sounds amazing.
It's fun. I'm like, when I went to Berlin, we did not eat any German food. There's so many different kinds of cuisine in Berlin that you don't have to. I mean, you don't have to eat German food if you want to.
Well, I imagine if you live in Berlin, you want a variety. But like, as people who live in the United States,
we should just go to a donut shop.
I mean, like donuts. That's the most Steimer-ass thing you've ever said.
I know.
Donuts. Whenever she would come to stay with me in San Mateo, we would always
apple fritter.
Apple fritter.
Oh God, apple fritter was so good.
That place was. I only went there like 3 times with y'all, but damn, that was good.
God, the donuts were so fucking good. I love donuts. Donuts are great.
In true summer fashion, we're now thinking about food and talking about food. We love you. Thank you for being part of this amazing journey with us. We're going to miss you so much, but we can't wait to get you back on the show from Germany and get your hot takes on all the things. But we just want to set expectations with people.
Yes.
That like it's going to be sporadic.
It will be sporadic.
But hopefully not so far in between that you forget the saltiness that you love.
Indeed.
From one K. Steimer.
I mean, that's all up to Bioware now. No, just don't harass them or anything. Please don't be like, I need you to drop Dragon Age news. Steimer goes on the show. Don't say anything to them. But if, some news comes about.
But where can people follow you and keep up with what's going on with you in Berlin?
I mean, I don't know. You can follow me on my socials, but I honestly don't post there very often anymore. Twitter is at Steimer. Instagram is K Steimer. Honestly, when we went on hiatus, I was very much enjoying not being a part of the social media world. I don't know if that will change when I move to Berlin. Maybe I'll want to document more, so it's possible. But for right now, I'm feeling good just living life and not telling people about it.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Concept.
Yeah, I know. It's weird, but it's a thing people can do.
Yeah. You can live your life and not tell the world what you're doing.
Indeed.
And still fully enjoy it.
Yep. Sometimes even more so.
Oh, yeah.
Brittany, any parting thoughts?
I've licked this bitch's ass enough tonight. I'll text her later.
Yeah. We love you, Steimer.
I love you too.
And that's going to be our episode. See you next week, everybody.
Good night and good luck.
Steimer, send us off.
Good night and good luck.
Wait, come on.
Wait, what? What am I supposed to say?
Brittany keeps interrupting you.
What?
It's the delay.
Oh, yeah.
Basically, I slightly interrupted your send-off, but give us another one with more pizzazz. More like...
Oh, shit. More pizzazz. You're so demanding. Good night and good luck. That was like how the newscaster did it, I think.
It's perfect.
I'll take it.
Great. Was that Cronkite?